You ready? I said, are you ready for some Tuesday night, Jake? Ah! I'm ready for some Tuesday night, Jake. But the question is, are you? Because guess what? It's Tuesday night, Jake time. It's Tuesday night, Jake time right now. Yeah, whether you like it or you don't. So hopefully you do like it. All right. We got Suzette Ann here. She says yes. Suzette Ann coming in with a yes, which I like a lot better than a no. Right? Kevin Marston here with a Jake and a bake. Bling. You guys like that? All right. CPH AWUD says, yes, yes, Jake. All right. It's going to be one of them type of shows. I can feel it. Feeling good. All right. You know what we need to do, you guys, to start the show? Let's do a thumbs up drive right now. Let's bust out of the gate to 50 thumbs up right out of the gate. Let's show YouTube what's up. Get me 50 thumbs up. That's what I need. Looks like one of my lights is still doing something I don't want it to. Everybody be blue. All right, there you go. So let's get to 50 thumbs up to start the show, and check it out. As a reward, if you get me to 50 thumbs up, I'll do a was up, and I'll put some extra stank on it just for you. But I'm going to need 50 thumbs up to get this party started. So you guys know what to do. If you're just filing in, we're going to have a good time tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's Tuesday night. You ain't got nothing better to do. I ain't got nothing better to do. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to have some fun, but we got to show the algorithm some love. Actually, we need to show that you love me so that the algorithm then shows me some love. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Let me make sure my watch is popping. Yes, it is. All right. So let's see how many thumbs up we have so far. We already have 67 thumbs up. Wow, that was fast. Holy cow, you guys are good at this game. Okay, so that means I got to fulfill my end of the bargain, right? I promised you, if we get 50 thumbs up right away, that I would give you a really awesome was up to start the show. I don't start every show with a was up, but I start some shows with a was up. And since you guys got me all the likes that I asked for, we're going to start this show with a was up. Okay? Okay. In fact, I'm going to have to stand up for this one. I feel like I'm going to let it loose. Here we go. Was We did it. We made it. Man. Told you I was going to put some extra stank on it. All right. All right. No booms. That's just regular old me being silly. You know, the story behind me doing that, it's not that I'm copying the old What's Up commercials. Those got old and went out of style. What I did is continued doing the What's Up, but better than any other human ever did it before, so that I carry on the tradition and I'm the best at doing it. So you could say that I picked up the ball and ran with it and did more with it than Budweiser ever thought to do. Right? Go me. All right. Let's see. What do you guys want to do tonight? You guys want to have some fun? I hope you do. Because tonight we're going to be talking about the boat crash, right? Looked totally legit to me. You know, Mexican Navy boat that's like 20 stories tall, has like sails and stuff like it's the 1700s or something, and it like can't figure out that this bridge is a little too low. Accidentally just smashed into the Brooklyn Bridge with the big old Mexican Navy ship, you guys. Sad story. It's a tragedy. Since people apparently died, we have to pretend it's a tragedy. Maybe since they're pretend people, we'll just pretend it's a tragedy. Call the whole thing even. All right. Trout fishing at Hood Park. Getting us started with the first super chat cheddar love of the night. My man says that deserves some kind of reward. Yikes. Thank you. Are you talking about my What's Up that I started the show? That's right. Each time I do that, it's a little different. So all of my big grandiose What's Ups, they're similar, but I put a little bit of different things and elements into it. It's like physical comedy, right? Where I got to keep holding out that What's Up thing for a long time and then mix in a bunch of other shit to make it funny. So I like to think I mix in a good bit of other shit, and then each time I do it, it's a little different. So no two What's Ups are exactly the same. That way you guys get to feel extra special. And one baller's coming in, said, can you do some Jim Carrey faces in quotes? He says, somebody stop me. All right, now I got to think of all the Jim Carrey shit. Le who, the her. Do not go in there. Woo! Harry, I took care of it. All right. God, I have to know a couple more than that, right? Somebody stop me. Did I do that one already? Am I repeating myself already? All right. Yes. One sec. What's up? Oh, I went and got some, bro. Hang on to it. No, I got some. You can hang on to it. Okay. All right. Come here. Come on. Thanks, man. Homeboy who rents an office across the way just handed me some nuggets. And I was like, no, dude, I have some. And he's like, no, take it. And I'm like, no. And he's like, yes, take it. You ever have somebody want to give you a gift and you're like, dude, I've already got some. I don't worry about it. And they're like, no, have it. And you're like, no, I seriously I have it. But they're like, you're taking it. And you're like, fine, okay. I have more nugs now. All right. And one ballers. All right. If I think of some more Jim Carrey lines throughout the I got one. Here's another Jim Carrey one. Dumb and Dumber. Good day, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie. Austria. Well then. Good day, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie. There you go. Let's not. There you go. I knew I had another one in me somewhere. All right. Got one coming in from Simone. Simone coming in with a super chat said, I'm late. Hello, Jake, Ralphie, and good people. Did Ralphie make an appearance yet? We've only just begun. We're only like 10 minutes into the stream, so you really haven't missed anything except me doing a big, huge what's up. So you might want to go back and watch the what's up after the stream ends. But other than that, you didn't miss anything. So let me go ahead and get Ralph, and Ralph will make his appearance right about now. Ralph, you've been summoned. Come here. Come on. You've been summoned to make an appearance, Ralph Meisters. There he is. Ralphie Meister. Ruff, 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 ruff. There he is. There's Ralph. This is a good bippy. Right here, Ralph. See? Gotta look right here. Look right into the camera, Ralph, so they can see your beautiful eyes. Look at my puppet. He doesn't know to look into the camera, so he always looks away. There you go. There's Ralphie. We just went for a walk just before I started the stream. He's big now. He's a big boy. I remember when he used to fit in my lap, and now he doesn't anymore. He wants to get up in my chair, but he's too damn big. All right. There's Ralphie's appearance for the night. He might make a second appearance tonight if you guys are lucky. All right. Thank you very much, Simone. DCrane4D said, like that Neil Armstrong guy, talk about fish story and they're buying it. Oh, yeah. Are you making the reference to when Jim Carrey said, we landed on the moon, right? In Dumb and Dumber. And then in the interview he did on, I think it was Letterman or Leno, one of those, right? He said, yeah, and they're buying it, right? People buying into the moon landing. I used to really like Jim Carrey's movies when I was a kid. And then by about the time he started doing shitty movies like Bruce Almighty, this is about the time when I stopped caring. So I still enjoy an old school Jim Carrey movie every once in a while because he did do some really good physical comedy. And you know what? That's one of my main influences for my physical comedy is old school Jim Carrey, right? So a lot of my physical comedy I can tie back to a guy like Jim who would let himself go crazy, crazier than the other comics, right? And so you could definitely say to this day, the physical comedy from the 90s, the good Jim Carrey stuff still exists within me. More so than Jim, perhaps. All right. All right. What else do we got? Did I get them all? Make sure I got all the fan funding. All right. Okay. So we're gonna start tonight with the boat. Thought we'd start with the boat crash. And I know since you guys are my crowd, we're all pretty much gonna look at it and be like, that's some fake ass shit. But let's go ahead and go through the motions, right? Let's pretend that we're going to take a look at the evidence and with an open mind, make an informed decision. whether or not we think it's fake as funk or totally legitimate. What are the chances that we're going to think it's totally legitimate, that boat hitting that bridge? Well, like negative infinity%. All right. Let me go ahead and pull up the let's start with some mainstream news footage. Let's go with the live story when it first hit. We'll start there, and then we'll work our way to a more current news story. But we'll start with the boat hitting the bridge when it happened. We'll do that. Some breaking news. Mexican ship hits a bridge, y'all.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome in here on Live Now from Fox. My name is Josh Breslow, and we are following breaking news out of New York City. That is where a ship has crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge, killing at least 2 people and injuring several others. Here's what we know so far about the situation. Take a look at this post on social media a short time ago from Mayor Eric Adams. You see that photo on the left-hand side of your screen, and the mayor says, earlier tonight, this Mexican Navy tall ship lost power and crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge. At this time, of the 277 on board, 19 sustained injuries, 2 of which remain in critical condition, and 2 more have sadly passed away from their injuries.
All right, so we have to pretend like it's a total tragedy, y'all. So I'm not seeing any like numbers that shoot out at me, right? So they aren't saying, 33 people were injured, right? Or 6.666 people died. So they aren't using any numbers that pop out at me so much, right? The thing that gets me though, Mexican Navy tall ship. And then when you look at it, it looks more like a decorative piece. It looks more like a ship that you would use for like a show or a little ceremony, but not one that you'd actually travel on or take long distances. And if you had this really tall ship, you would know better than to try and go under a bridge, right? So any story about this thing accidentally trying to go under the Brooklyn Bridge or losing control, I don't know. I'm very skeptical right away.
We are also getting some video into the newsroom of some of the witnesses that saw all of this happen. Take a listen.
Oh shit! Whoa!
Okay, I would say that the way it breaks away almost looks like this thing was jimmy rigged to break this certain way. It almost looks like this thing was built to go under this bridge and break like this. And then we just so happen to get multiple shots. So you guys, not only do we get this cinematic angle, we get like 5 other angles, right? So every angle you could possibly want is captured. And it's like a very like slow motion deal. And then when it hits, like, check it out. Here, let me turn off the sound. Let me put it in slow-mo, like I like to do with NFL games, right? Put it at half speed. Check it out. And somehow this killed people. So people were standing up there and I don't see where the people died. So somehow this is a tragedy, but I don't see how that could have possibly killed anyone. And it's like they say, oh, there was people standing on the masts. It didn't really look like it. What do you guys think? You guys know how skeptical I am of everything. What do you guys think? All right. Jason G says, they be punking us again. Holden said, yep, total fake BS. Suzette Ann said, the way the masts break looks suspicious. I am not a boat expert by any means, but the way that those like just fold backwards is very, almost looks like they were gimmicked. And by gimmicked, I mean like they were built to break like that. Like this thing was built to ceremoniously crash underneath that bridge. And here's the thing, if they are doing this for, you know, like a psychological operation, which is my guess, I can't tell you the exact reason. So perhaps it's like some sort of ritual ceremonial thing, and it's tied back to something that I'm unaware of. So I can't give you a good reason why they would stage this, but from just looks alone, it ain't looking too legit. That's all I'm saying. And again, and this is a comedy show. All of my opinions are for entertainment purposes only, and to make you guys enjoy your life and laugh. It's up to you to come to your own conclusions, right? Don't worry about what I think. You guys get to come up with your own conclusions. I'm not trying to force feed you or get you to think any one way or the other. I personally just feel like that didn't look like it was that big of a crash. So I don't understand how people could die, especially like if it was going so slow and you saw that it was coming. If you were up there on the masts, wouldn't you get down? So it just makes sense to me that like if you saw that bridge coming and you were up on the masts, you would scurry down real quick. And then you would probably take cover and brace yourself. So it's hard for me to see, like when the boat was going that slow, how anyone like allowed themselves to even get hurt. All right. That's just me. Let's continue.
Toward the bridge near the Brooklyn side of the East River. Its three masts hit the bridge's span and then snapped one by one as the ship kept moving. The ship was on a global goodwill tour at the time, and some sailors were left dangling from harnesses high in the air, waiting to be rescued.
Okay, guys, so you see these big tall masts, and it's like you see like what it looks like. This to me is like a show ship, like something you would do like a quick little like lap around, you know, near a crowd of people at like a boating event, or like, you know what I mean? Like it's a literal show boat. Like I don't see why this is being called a Mexican Navy. I didn't even know the Mexicans had a Navy. And if they do, is this a joke? Because like there's no weapons on it. So I thought naval ships had to have like, you know, armor and weapons and was like part of the military. So it doesn't appear like it's militarized. It looks more like if you did travel on this thing, it would be like a tourist thing. So it looks more like a Mexican tourist show ship, right? And if that's the case, it should never crash into the Brooklyn Bridge like that. It's so the whole story to me, even though I'm not a boat expert, I don't claim to know shit about boats. I just don't understand how this thing could be a Navy ship, meaning government. Like the Mexican government was responsible for this fiasco. And what are they going to do? Like, who are they going to battle with that? Like, if push came to shove and Mexico had to fight somebody, are they really going to send that thing that gets defeated by a bridge? You guys, I mean, all of it to me makes no sense. But again, I totally don't know shit about boats. It just looks like it would be more of like a decorative a showpiece, a ceremonial piece, which makes me think the whole thing is some sort of ceremonial ritual thing. So it's like a psyop, but it's not really meant to like accomplish any evil goal so much as maybe it's meant to like signal the beginning or end of something. I don't know. That's the thing about these evil elites. They have their underlords and their, all these different gods who they worship and these different ceremonies. And I'm not a part of it. So sometimes when they perform these rituals or whatever, like, oh, we're going to have this boat crash at this certain bridge at this certain time on this certain day to signify the coming of the Dark Lord Osiris or whatever. I don't know. See, I don't know the reasons why they plan this shit. So all I can tell you is this looks like some staged shit. I just can't come up with a real good reason. So if any of you guys have a real good reason why they're doing this, feel free to let us know in the chat. I don't claim to know everything, right? But I just look at things as they come and then break it down as a true skeptic, right? A true skeptic of what they're calling the news. And yeah, I can't come up with a good reason like why they're going to like run with this story and make it national news. But I do want to point out it wasn't that long ago they had the Baltimore bridge get hit. But the difference was the Baltimore bridge collapsed, which totally looks staged as fuck. So if you guys remember, the Baltimore bridge got hit by a boat and it just went and fell down into the water, right? So a little different. This one, the bridge totally wins. Shady Davy D said, Truther Tuesday, best channel on YouTube right here with the best chat room. Indeed. I totally agree. Thank you, Shady Davy D, for your longtime support and your multiple super chats. And you're always telling people to hit the thumbs up. Always such a supporter of the show in general. I really appreciate that, Davy. Thank you for being here. You are very loyal to the channel, and I really, really appreciate it. All right, guys, let's get back to this ship. We'll look at a few different angles, but the fact that there's so many angles makes me think that like they have these cameras all set up and ready to go to make sure they capture it just perfectly.
Left dangling from harnesses high in the air, waiting to be rescued. We did receive a follow-up statement here moments ago from Mayor Eric Adams, as he does say, quote, "We are praying for everyone on board and their families and are grateful to our first responders who quickly jumped into action, ensuring this act."
All right. Nev Soul says recent boat crashes might be excuse to introduce AI ran travel. Don't understand how they can't see a bridge in 2025. Interesting. Just you saying that makes the wheels in my head start turning. And then I start thinking of the different plane crashes and stuff, like simple landings are going wrong now. And Boeing was in the news like several times having issues with their flights, plane crashes and whatnot, helicopter crashes. So with an uptick in plane crashes and boat crashes and what have you, you might be onto something like, oh, humans are incompetent, so we need to usher in AI to safely control travel, right? Good one. And you know what? Back in like the 60s and 70s, there was commercial flight, 80s, 90s. Back in the 90s, you could just like fly anywhere for relatively cheap, and it wasn't that much of an issue, right? And then flying became an issue after the towers came down, right? That's when you started to have to go through all this extra security and rigmarole. And that's when flying became a pain in the ass. So I remember when I was a kid, I would fly from California to Las Vegas on these short trips, and going in and out of the airport wasn't as much of a pain in the ass as it has become. And now, what are they doing? Oh, you have to have a real ID. So now they're making it even more of a pain in the ass. So I'm sure you guys have heard you have to have the real ID or a passport now to get on a plane. So it seems like they're making it as hard on you, the traveler, as possible. And they want to put doubt in the travelers' minds that, like, these planes can go down, these boats can crash, what have you. So I think they just don't really want us traveling. And if we are dead set on having to travel, they want us to go through a bunch of extra security and bullshit to make it a pain in the ass. And they want to charge us more money, right? What they just don't want us to go out there and explore the world and see what's really going on. They want us stuck here in our little boxes like prisoners. For sure. All right. Good comment, Nev Soul. Damn good comment. Thank you for the super chat. All right.
Accident wasn't much worse. Following our preliminary inspection, we can confirm that the bridge sustained no damage and is now open to traffic. So again, the bridge was hit in that accident. However, it is once again open to vehicle traffic there. Do want to pop up this statement right here on your screen. This is actually coming in from the Mexican president, Claudia Sheinbaum. Translated here, she said, quote, "We are deeply saddened by the loss of 2 crew members of that training ship who lost their lives in the unfortunate accident in New York Harbor. Our sympathy and support go out to their families. The Navy, with the support of local authorities, currently treating the wounded. The Mexican ambassador to the United States." That is where a ship is.
All right, let's move on to the next story. Okay, so that's when it happened live. Let me go to the next story. All right.
Now to the investigation into the crash at the Brooklyn Bridge. A Mexican Navy tall ship slammed into the iconic structure, killing at least 2 people. More than a dozen others were injured. Several members of the crew who had been on the mast before they hit the bridge were suspended helplessly in midair. ABC's Rhiannon Alley has more.
Tonight, the terrifying moments when this Mexican Navy tall ship carrying nearly 300 people slammed into the Brooklyn Bridge, killing 2 crew members and injuring more than a dozen.
We're about to watch it crash into the Brooklyn Bridge.
Dramatic.
We're about to watch it crash into the Brooklyn Bridge. See all these different angles, y'all? And you get commentary like you know it's going to crash, so you have time to set up and get perfect footage.
Videos from land capturing the moment it happened at about 8:20 Saturday night.
The captain that was maneuvering the ship lost, I guess, power of the ship.
You can see it.
Whoa, hold on. NYPD police.
The moment it happened at about 8:20 Saturday night.
The captain that was maneuvering the ship lost, I guess, power of the ship.
Hold up. Chief Wilson Aramboles. So apparently they have a chief who just so happens to sound like he's a Mexican. I would have thought that was the boat captain or something, the way he was talking, like that was the Mexican boat captain. No, that's apparently the chief of the NYPD. We don't know what happened. We don't know. The boat no trabajo, and then it crashed into the bridge. The bridge is okay, but the boat is no bueno. Boat no trabajo no more. Right? Like he just so happens to be Mexican, this guy. Wow. How about that? Is that like a coincidence or not? To me, that seems like a crazy coincidence how this guy happens to sound and look. And he's part of the NYPD. It would make sense if this guy was on the boat, like the boat captain or the captain's fucking assistant or something, a ship hand or what have you.
About 8:20 Saturday night.
The captain that was maneuvering the ship lost, I guess, power of the ship.
The captain that was maneuvering the ship, he don't know what he was doing, so he lose power to the ship. The ship it crashed into the bridge. It's no good. No bueno. The bridge is okay. The ship, it's no good. No bueno. The ship no trabajo no more. Oh, okay. Thank you, NYPD Chief Aaron Boles, for giving us the breakdown.
Lost, I guess, power of the ship.
You can see it traveling backwards when the masts hit the bridge, one after another. Onlookers watching in disbelief.
We thought it was maybe going to go under the Brooklyn Bridge at like the highest point, so it would avoid striking the mast. But then we noticed it was going backwards.
And it kept coming and coming and coming. And I just remember thinking, wow, this is so odd. Like, it's getting too close. And then it crashed.
First responders rushing to the scene to aid the injured. Luckily, officials say no one fell into the water. Officials say there was no major damage to the bridge.
So, guys, like I said, in order for that to injure you or kill you, especially, you'd almost have to be standing right on the mast as it hits the bridge. Like, you'd have to be like up there, standing there, and have your head positioned to where your head goes bleh, right? I mean, I don't see how that can even hurt anyone, let alone kill anyone. You guys see what I'm saying? Like, it's coming at you in slow motion. So you would pretty much have to be standing right in the certain spot on the mast that hits the bridge. And it would have to, like, you know, hit you like directly in the head, I guess. I don't see any other way how that how that hurts anyone. But apparently a couple people died, and it's very sad, and it's a tragedy.
It was a tough bridge. It was overbuilt from the very beginning, and this withstood an awful lot.
We are just feet away from the ship, and at the top, you can see those snapped masts that hit the underside of the Brooklyn Bridge. Up there right now, you can also see people in harnesses.
NTSB investigators among those now on the scene.
What the NTSB is going to do is treat this exactly like they would an air accident. They're going to take a look at everything.
This crash brings back memories of March 2024 when a cargo ship slammed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore.
What did I talk about earlier? This one brings back memories of the Baltimore Bridge. But look at this one. Watch the way the entire bridge goes down. Watch.
Accident. They're going to take a look at everything.
This crash brings back memories of March 2024 when a cargo ship slammed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore after it lost power, causing a catastrophic collapse. 6 construction workers were killed.
Another really sad tragedy. Because, guys, when a boat hits a bridge, just one pillar, one boat hits one pillar,
cargo ship slammed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore after it lost power.
Whole bridge goes down. Yep. Whole bridge goes down. Now, I'm not a bridge building expert, but wow, who knew that if one boat hits one pillar, whole damn bridge comes down. in segmented sections as if it was professionally done. You know, if you were going to professionally bring down a bridge, I'll bet you, minus the boat, it would look a lot like that. Like if you were to hire a company to bring down a bridge, right? If you wanted to take down an old bridge, minus the boat, I'll bet you it would look real similar to that. If you wanted to do it all in one shot, you know? It's kind of like when they take down a old hotel in Las Vegas and they turn it into a spectacle. They make it into a show. Except here, they convince people it was an accident and a tragedy.
Causing a catastrophic collapse. 6 construction workers were killed.
This ship arrived in New York just last week for a goodwill tour, and officials say it was headed to Iceland when it crashed, and now investigators.
It was headed to Iceland? You're going to take this old-ass thing with these big, tall, old-school masts to fucking Iceland? It just looks like a show ship. I can't say that enough. To me, it looks like it's meant to just like be used for decoratory ceremonial use, not to actually go anywhere like on a long journey. If you're going to go on a long journey, wouldn't you want a more luxurious boat than that? Just seems weird. And then the fact that it's considered a Navy boat, it looks like it should be a retired Navy boat, which would make it a showpiece, right? But no, they don't say that at all. They're not like, oh, this is a retired showpiece Navy boat that like is only used for boat shows or whatever. No. It's like, no, this is an actual Mexican Navy boat that the Mexicans use in Navy battles.
Investigators are trying to figure out exactly how this could have happened.
How exactly did it happen? Maybe the captain was drunk. All right. What do you guys think? How did this happen? How could this have possibly happened, you guys? Any of you guys have any clue? Ceremony ritual boat. Joe Moore says Iceland is green. Greenland is ice. I learned that on the, what was it? Mighty Ducks 2 movie. When the Mighty Ducks played Iceland. I think that was a quote in the movie. I've never been to Iceland or Greenland, but I do know a little about both places, such as Iceland green, Greenland ice. Thank you, Mighty Ducks 2 and Joe Moore. It's very vital information for the day when I do visit either Iceland or Greenland. I know what to expect when I get there. All right. Let's see. Should we watch another Mexican ship crash? Let's watch another angle. Let's watch it like in slow-mo. That's what we'll do. All right. New clues, you guys. So we got some new clues in the deadly Mexican ship. All right. I don't know about you, but I want to know some new clues.
Right into the Brooklyn Bridge. Chilling video here showing the masts of that Mexican Navy ship snapping into pieces. Nearly 300 sailors on the ship on a training mission. 2 of them were killed. Several others recovering from injuries tonight, and there are many questions about how this happened. Here's Gio Benitez.
Tonight, growing questions about what caused that catastrophic ship crash into the Brooklyn Bridge, killing 2 people, injuring 19 more. Stunning videos capturing the moment of impact Saturday night. This one filmed by someone on the bridge. Late today, officials confirming there was no significant damage to the iconic bridge. The NTSB says the Mexican Navy ship carrying nearly 300 people on a training mission departed a Manhattan pier around 8:20 Saturday night with the...
And they got everybody all lined up on there. Yeah, dude, if you saw that you were going to hit the bridge, everybody would be scurrying down super fast, right? I didn't see all these people scurrying down when it hit. So this picture right here doesn't quite match up to the video. That's all I'm saying. We didn't see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times 2, 3, 4, right? Like what, 25 people over here, maybe another 30 over here or whatever depicted here. I don't know about this.
The help of a tugboat, sailors seen lining the towering masts. The ship reversing.
Yeah, well, are they still standing there? I don't see them standing there now.
Into the East River when it started to pick up speed.
We are going to be accessing all the different electronic.
See what I'm saying? We didn't see all them dudes lined up there when it hit.
Data to determine at what point the vessel began accelerating.
4 minutes later, around 8:24 p.m., the crew requesting assistance from more tugboats. And roughly 45 seconds after those calls, the ship hitting the bridge, all three masts snapping like sticks, sailors left dangling. That tugboat appeared to try to steer the ship, called the Quadamok, south, but it kept drifting north towards the bridge. Experts pointing to videos like this showing a possible wake, suggesting the engines were pushing it faster right into the bridge.
That indicates that there's some sort of propelling force. So it does indicate that the ship is coming astern and actually driving itself toward the Brooklyn shore and the bridge.
And David, it's still not clear if a mechanical issue played a role in this crash. The NTSB is now waiting on Mexican officials to give them permission to board this ship and interview the crew.
All right, y'all. What do you guys think? I want to hear from you guys. Beware the locusts. Mexican Navy piñata. I'm Rigged says you can't see shit like every mainline story. Yep, of course. You don't get to see any of the people plummet to their death, right? We see this shot where there's a bunch of people standing up there, right? But we don't see all those people going, ah! And falling out when it hits the bridge. All right. Loose Sapphire says, I don't believe those masts could support all their weight. I really don't know anything about boats, so I'm not going to make a statement like that. I'm just going to say that this picture right here doesn't seem to match up to the video as far as, like, I didn't see 40, 50 people standing on those masts as it was hitting the damn bridge. It almost looked like there weren't any people up there when it hit the actual bridge. But of course, you know, I'm just watching secondhand footage, right? What do I know? Stevie33 says no one had a phone on the ship to take video. Everyone who was watching the ship on shore, they all had plenty of time to line up the shot perfectly, to get a perfect cinematic shot, and they sent them into the news. You ever wonder, how did the news get a hold of these bystanders taking the shot? Did the news have their own cameras set up and ready? Or did these bystanders like call up the news and be like, I have perfect video for you guys? Or do they post it online and then the news goes and steals it? You see what I'm saying? So it's always funny how the news has like, oh, we have 6 different camera angles for you. Exactly. But nobody on the boat has a phone and is taking it from like right underneath as it hits, right? Gotcha. All right. Chris Pierman says that ship was carrying Richie from Boston's Chinese butt drones. I've been trying to tell you for years, but nobody wants to listen. These ships that you see crashing into bridges, it's because the Chinese nano drones have infiltrated the circuitry, and they're crashing them into these bridges, causing massive amounts of damage. The next thing they're going to do is they're going to infiltrate your behind where the sun don't shine. You know where I'm talking about. They're going to infiltrate your anus. They're going to implant themselves in the inner lining of your uterus or your anus, whichever you have, your anus, your uterus, whichever you prefer. That's where these Chinese drones are going to implant themselves. And you know what they're going to do. They're going to implant nano AIDS into your body. And there's no way to get rid of nano AIDS except by vaping my organic Holy Bible vape juice. It's all I vape these days. Once I started vaping organic Holy Bible vape juice made with the finest organic vaporized Bibles.
The Chinese drones instantly left my anus for good, and they never came back. So if you want to get your promo code down below, you can save 10% off Richie's Bible Juice, the best vape juice you will ever vape in your life. Money back guarantee. Trust me or don't. Like, share, and subscribe, or don't. I don't care. I'm out.
There you go. There you go. Thank Chris Pierman for giving me the motivation to come up with that.
Folks, we got a serious problem on our hands. Too many of these goddamn boat captains, they're getting drunk. We got a Mexican naval boat captain. He drank too many Modelos, and then he crashed into the goddamn bridge. If this keeps happening, folks, every boat captain is going to lose their job, and they're going to be replaced by fracking AI. But I've got a plan. We're going to stop these sons of bitches dead in their tracks. You guys want to know what my plan is to stop the evil deep state? I'm going to eat my neighbor's ass. I'm going to size them up. I'm going to chop them up. I'm going to haul them up that chain. I'm going to skin my neighbor's ass. I'm going to saute him up with some liver and some fava beans. If you want a piece of my neighbor's ass, I'm going to grind it up and put it into little pills. I'm going to be selling my neighbor's ass pills. You can get my promo code down below.
Okay, enough funny business, y'all. Enough funny business. We got a super chat coming in that needs to be read. From James, who says, looks like a Lego ship. How you doing? And where's Ralphie? Can you do this on RFB voice for a second? Well, I just did the RFB voice. I don't know if you donated before I did the RFB voice or what, but I totally just did RFB. So I might have to do a little more. Ralphie is right underneath my desk. I can have him make another appearance real quick, but I totally agree with you about the Lego ship. Not only that, the Baltimore Bridge, when it came down a year ago, it looked like it was like a Lego bridge, right? Like all these different sections that just like come apart just perfectly. You know, like, oh, here's this bridge, right? And the boat hits one of the pillars and then all the Legos come to pieces. Yeah. Totally agree with the Lego thing. Ralph, you've been asked to make another appearance, Ralph. You've been asked to make another appearance, Ralph's. The second time someone's asked where the Ralph cow is. There's the Ralph cow. There's my Ralph cows. Yeah. Oop. There we go. There's Ralph's cows. With his big floppy ears. Big floppy Ralph ears. My good puppy, huh? Best puppy. There you go. Thank you very much, James, coming in with the super chat. And I totally agree with the Lego thing. Got a Ralphie appearance for you. Appreciate the super chat.
As I was telling you, I only vape the finest organic Bible vape juice, and it gets rid of all the Chinese drones nearly instantly. The only bad thing is, the first time you use the toilet, you're going to notice a plethora of Chinese nano drones in your toilet. Believe it or not, if you stack enough nano drones together, you'll actually see little clumps of bazillions of little nano drones that are going to come right out of your anus once you vape my organic Bible juice vape. Now, after a day or so, you're going to stop seeing the nano drones coming out of your asshole. And that's when you're going to know that you're cured and that all the nano drones are gone. So you vape my organic Bible juice vape. It kills the Chinese nano drones. They come out of your asshole. Once they stop, you are officially cured. However, you're going to want to continue to vape my organic Bible vape juice. Otherwise, they will return and they will re-implant themselves in your anus or your uterus, whichever you prefer. there you go. There you go. You notice that my Richie from Boston impression, it's not only really good, but like it just continues to get even more outlandish. It's like it's progressing into like such a weird impression that I take further and further each time. All right. All right. Boat crash. All right, that's enough boat crash for me. I'm thinking we can move on to the Joe Biden stuff, right? You guys hear Joe Biden got diagnosed with cancer? Yeah, how about that? Let's listen to the Joe Biden story. Many of you guys already know my stance on Joe Biden, that I believe the original Joe Biden has been replaced a long time ago. And we've been seeing nothing but imposter Joe Bidens, CGI Joe Bidens, AI Joe Bidens, mask-wearing actors pretending to be Joe Biden. So let's go ahead and hear about Joe Biden's cancer diagnosis.
Former President Biden is said to be reviewing his treatment options with his doctors after his cancer diagnosis. He has been diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer that has now spread to his bones. Fox's Rebecca Castor has the details.
His bunghole cancer has spread to his boner. It's very sad, you guys. That means his asshole is no good anymore, and it's spread to his boner, which means his junk's going to fall off. He's not going to have an asshole or a pecker to peck with. It's very sad.
Former President Biden sharing his first message on X Monday morning since his cancer diagnosis was revealed. Cancer touches us all. Like so many of you, Jill and I have learned that we are strongest in the broken places. Thank you for lifting us up with love and support.
He is a fighter, and he is somebody who is relentlessly optimistic.
Biden's office announced Sunday he was diagnosed just before the weekend with an aggressive form of prostate cancer, which has metastasized to the bone.
I can't tell you for sure, but he didn't just get this overnight. He's had this for months and months, even if it is aggressive. It's a Gleason 9, which means under the microscope, group 5, under the microscope, it's quite aggressive.
This guy knows the type of cancer that imposter Joe Biden has. He looked in the microscope and he saw a sample of Joe Biden's cancer. And this guy's like a cancer expert. He knows all about different types of cancers. So he totally saw Joe Biden's cancer with his own 2 eyes. So that's why he's so qualified to speak on the issue.
9, which means under the microscope, group 5, under the microscope, it's quite aggressive.
Biden's last official medical exam as president was in February of last year, when his doctor gave him a clean bill of health. Experts say it's uncommon to do the prostate-specific antigen test for men over 70, but the president of the United States is not your average patient.
You can miss prostate cancer, but most of the time, regular screening picks it up. A sitting president, I would expect to have advanced screening.
Biden's diagnosis comes as Democrats are facing fierce criticism over how the party handled last year's election, and a new book comes out tomorrow on their alleged attempts to cover up Biden's mental decline.
All right. There you go. There's one news report. That one was short. Justin Johnson says, that's not Joe. He died in 2018. I think that, the old Joe Biden that was vice president under Obama, looks like a different dude. For instance, check it out. Check it out. I got one right here. Check this out. right? Like this version of Joe Biden, I know people are going to be like, well, he was younger back then. He's a lot older now. That just doesn't even look like the same dude, right? This is like the best portrait of Joe Biden, right? The one that makes him look the most friendly and I don't know, just like the most perfect version of Joe Biden that there ever was. This is it. And then check this one out. Because I think this is like 2008, I want to say. 2008, 2009. And then check this out. Now he's like evil lizard man.
Like, this is evil Joe. I'm evil Joe, and I've got a lizard inside me, and I want to drink your blood.
But now, I'm happy Joe. I'm nice Joe. I'm Joe that wants to be your future president. It'll be a great time with me as your
when I suck your blood. Evil lizard Joe.
But he's a nice guy. So yeah, these two Joes from back in 2008, they don't even look like each other. So this was about the same time period. You got these two different Joes that don't even look like each other. So yeah, man, I start scratching my head wondering, like, how long has this guy been replaced? Was there ever just one Joe Biden, or has there always been multiple Joe Bidens, right? Has there always been multiple Joe Bidens? I don't know. The more pictures I go back and look at, it's tough to say. Check this out. Check this out. You go back and look at the old ones, then you got this shit, right? Look at this. Right? Like this. Like what? Who's that? Oh, here you go. Right? So the more old pictures I go back and look at, I'm like, man, I don't know. These are all different looking Joe Bidens to me. Look, here's he's doing like the Trump thing, right? Doing the Trump accordion almost. You don't usually see Biden doing this. The many faces of Joe Biden. And then when you look back at some of these, like you can't see his eye, like there's no whites of his eyes on some of these old photos. And then other ones, he has like bigger eyes. You can totally see the whites of his eyes. It's very strange. Look at this. So you used to be able to see the whites of his eyes. God, see this one right here just looks different than even the 2008 Joes that we just looked at. So each picture of Joe has me scratching my head. What do you guys think? Claire, I got some super chats rolling in. Let me go back and grab them real quick. Nev Soul and someone else. I'm rigged. I'm rigged says, that's shill shit, mate. He's a multi-roller. He ain't wearing no disguise. He's a bloody multi-roller. Just like Jake the asshole. He doesn't wear a disguise when he plays the role of Nick Johnson in UK bare knuckle box or whatever his name is. He friggin' shape shifts. It's a friggin' shape shifting Orcorn. Totally a multi-roller. But you see what I'm saying though? Like if you go back and look at these old photos, it's like, okay, I know he was a lot younger, but when you get older, the whites of your eyes don't just like disappear, right? Like just because you get older doesn't mean your eyes should just become black, right? So it's like old Joe used to have bigger eyes. Then at some point, he like got switched out with like squinty-eyed, black-eyed Joe, right? So now when you see Joe Biden, he's like, you don't see any whites of his eyes anymore. It's always like, all right. Nevsol says it's very obvious, but why will sheeple throw a fit if I say Biden has been replaced? Sometimes CGI. So they had CGI Joe Biden, AI Joe Biden's basically that would address the country. So if it was just like a 1 minute, 2 minute little like speech where there's no live crowd and it's just him like at a podium, they could actually have an AI CGI Joe Biden address America, right? And then they could also have, for live appearances, they could have imposter actors wearing a hyper-realistic mask. So let me show you an example. In fact, if you want to show these people who you're talking about, these sheeple whom you speak of, if you want to show them the best example online, I got a video where I called out Joe Biden as being replaced. And I showed this one time where you could see this like section of his neck. It appeared like they like copy and pasted his face onto someone else's body. In fact, let me pull it up right now. Now that I'm talking about it. All right. Speaking of Joe Biden being replaced. My hardcore subs who've been following me a long time will recognize this video. Anyone who's newer and you've only been following for maybe a year or less, watch what I'm showing you here. Pay very, very close attention.
There is something seriously wrong with our president, Creepy Joe. Now, a lot of you guys may have seen this video floating around, but you haven't heard me break it down yet. And in my opinion, this video interview that Creepy Joe did during the elections on CNBC, this video interview is the best single piece of evidence that Joe has been replaced by an imposter actor or a team of imposter actors who are carrying out the role of Creepy Joe. In fact, Creepy Joe may have been gone for years and might only exist in the world of CGI. Sound like a crazy conspiracy theory? Well, by the end of this video, I'm pretty sure your mind's about to be blown. Let's dive in. Oh, and before we get started, just in case you've never seen this video before, keep your eyes focused on Joe Biden's neck. That is where all the action takes place. Again, eyes on Creepy Joe's neck. Here we go.
Mr. Vice President, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for being out here. Thank you.
How's that bus tour? You had a wild exchange this morning.
Well, that was actually a little bit of fun. The fact is that we have a great bus tour. We've about 660 miles. We're going in day 6.
First thing out of his mouth, 660 miles going into day 6.
All right, just before we get into this, I got some super chats coming in. Simone says, I feel like Biden has been gone a long time. I agree. So that Biden who I showed you earlier from 2008 or whatever it was, back when he was vice president under under Obama. Yeah, totally looks like a different guy. But there's also pictures of Biden back then that don't even look like each other, you know? So you got pictures of Joe Biden that span the last 20 years, basically. and several of them look like different dudes, right? So I'm starting to wonder if there's been multiple Joe Bidens for a long time, right? Was there ever just one singular Joe Biden, or has he been a bit of a made-up character all along? All right. So thank you, Simone, for your I think that's like your second or your third super chat tonight. I appreciate that, Simone. And then I got one that came in from Boosh Comics, said, I'm disgruntled. Hey, aren't we all a bit disgruntled living in this crazy world, right? This clown show where they're trying to dupe us and trick us and scam us on a daily basis, right? And the guy in the goofy hat is going to give you 100% more truth in the news than you will get from the actual news. I'd be disgruntled too if I was you. In fact, I was so disgruntled and continually get so disgruntled, I feel the need to make this content to make myself feel better about how disgruntled I am. Thank you, Boosh Comics. Boosh. All right. Dcran4D said, they must be planning on killing off his character, served his purpose. That's what I was going to get to. You basically spoiled it. I was basically going to say that, in my opinion, it looks like they're getting ready to wrap up the shelf life of the character Joe Biden. So it wouldn't surprise me within the next 6 months to a year that this character exits the world stage scene. So I think we are getting the countdown for this guy having his fake death, basically. So I'm guessing within the next year, we're going to see Joe Biden's character die off the world stage. So yes, that was what I was thinking as well. Dcran4D. We are on the same page.
See how he just conveniently spits out 666 right out of the gate. Now again, keep your eyes on the neckline.
We've had a couple thousand people show up. They're enthusiastic, and it was interesting the response to the crowd when that fellow spoke up. And that there's plenty of room to be able to do things that make a lot of sense. That's why, look, I have always been of the view that the tax policy is not about punishing people. It's about giving everybody a shot, giving everybody an equal prospect. And so what I call for example, there's overwhelming evidence now that the idea that the capital gains tax is promoting growth is just not the case.
So the first thing that people notice when they see this video is the completely unnatural neckline of Creepy Joe. It doesn't look like a regular shadow to me. It looks like where possibly a mask meets skin, or it's quite possibly a CGI layering effect. I can't quite put my finger on it, but what I can put my finger on is that it's not natural. There's something wrong with that man's neckline, and it's either a person wearing a mask or some sort of CGI layering effect. Now, that's the first thing most people notice when they see this video. What not everyone notices is that the whole thing's done in front of a green screen. I mean, look in the background. You can see people eating like they're in some random diner. Do you think President-elect Joe at the time is going to do this big interview in some random diner and these people in the background are just going to sit there and act like they don't know what's going on?
So yeah, some people will be like, oh, it's just the tan line. It's just a shadow line. Dude, look at the way it moves. The way it moves, you can see pixels changing right across this neck. You can like just zoom in on this spot and see pixels changing in a very unnatural way. Not only that, just look at how it looks like a head has been placed on someone else's body. Look at how pale the skin is. Unnatural background where these people are eating and stuff as if like they did this interview inside a restaurant. So everything from the background being fake to like what's going on with his neck. I used to point this stuff out years ago, guys. This video right here. Let me check the official date that I put out this video. Oh, shit. So I put this out in 2021, April 13th, 2021. So over 4 years ago, y'all. So I've been calling out Joe Biden as being replaced for years. And one of the things that bothers me is when I call out Trump now in 2025 and say that Trump is just another lying shitbag politician, no different than any of the rest of the presidents, right? They're all in the same club. So whenever I call out Trump, there are these hardcore MAGAs who will say things like, oh, how come you don't call out Joe Biden? How come you never called out Joe Biden? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I called out Joe Biden as not even being a real dude. It's kind of a big deal. So my take on Joe Biden is a lot more real of a take than you're going to get from any other channel online. How many guys do you know that talk about Joe Biden being replaced by imposters and CGI Joes, AI Joes? So my take is one of the few takes that really does expose that Joe Biden has been replaced. And so when these MAGAs will come across me talking about Trump, and whenever I'm exposing Trump, they'll try and throw dirt on me like, oh, how come you didn't expose Joe Biden? It's like, I did. I exposed the shit out of Joe Biden. So whoever the president is going to be in my crosshairs, right? So Joe Biden looks like his character is going to be expiring very soon, right? So he's no longer going to be in my crosshairs in the future once his character dies off, of course. But I just want to show you that when he was the president, I was spotting shit like this and pointing it out. And you know what? Look, 15,000 views. So it's not like I ever went viral. And this is information that I would figure is more important and a bigger deal. This is a more entertaining video altogether than a ton of shit you find. But, you know, people would rather watch fucking Zach Rios react to a fucking TikTok than they would, you know, watch a video about Joe Biden being replaced.
Stare directly into the camera, walk up and interrupt and ask for an autograph. I mean, come on. This background is obviously done in front of a green screen. So if the background is green screened in, this whole interview is completely unnatural to begin with. So it's not too far out of the imagination to think that Creepy Joe's face could be CGI layered right on top of some other person, or it could be some guy with a really realistic mask of Creepy Joe pretending to be Creepy Joe. This is the first thing I see when I look at this video. Let's continue.
It wasn't until Republicans started taking it away that all of a sudden people said, whoa, I didn't know that's where I got that from. And look what we did. We won back 41 seats, Republican seats in purple and red areas, because people, so you didn't hear any Republicans out there saying, I'm going to take away your pre-existing condition coverage, because they figured it out. It wasn't until Republicans started taking it away that all of a sudden people said, whoa, I didn't know that's where I got that from. And look what we did. We won back 41 seats, Republican seats in purple and red areas, because people, so you didn't hear any Republicans out there saying, I'm going to take away your pre-existing condition coverage, because they figured it out.
Now, don't just take my word for it. And if anyone thinks that I did something to manipulate these video clips, you can go watch the full interview on CNBC's YouTube channel.
Check it out, y'all. This was back when you could still see the thumbs down. You guys want to know why they got rid of the thumbs down? That's because Biden's videos were getting overwhelmingly thumbs down, to the point where they didn't want people to see, you know, a 10-to-1 ratio of thumbs down. So this is the precursor to the thumbs down being removed. You started to see this become regular. Every Joe Biden video would get thumbs down into oblivion. So there you go. This was back before they took away the thumbs down. That's how long ago it was. All right. Simone says, with that said, and talking about Biden, can we have the other side gay song of Donald Trump YMCA? I guess that's like your your favorite comedy tune of mine, right? The Donald Trump YMCA song. All right, just for you, Simone. Doot, 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 doot. It's fun to freaking stay at the YMCA. My favorite song is freaking YMCA. EA. They've got young men there, and you can have a good meal. You can quite frankly do whatever you feel, young men. You know that I love young men, so I will go there to the YMCA. It makes me happy when I do my little dance. So I think I'll go down to the ooh, yeah, ooh. It's fun to stay at freaking YMCA. My favorite song is freaking YMCA. Yay. Because they've got young men there, and you can have a good meal. And quite frankly, it's a heck of a time. Young men, you know that I love young men, because young men, you know that they are young men. So I will go there to the YMCA because it makes me feel so happy. One more time. Doot, 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 doot. It's fun to freaking stay at freaking YMCA. My favorite freaking song is freaking YMCA. Yay. They've got young men there, and I can do my little dance, and quite frankly, it's a hell of a time. All right. There you go. You guys can thank Simone for that. She requests it more than anybody. And she pays up, so you know. You get what you pay for, right? And you got what you paid for, hopefully. All right. It's times like this where if my family was to saw what I was doing to make money, they'd be like, "This is what you do?" And I'd be, "Yeah. I sing gay little songs and do a stupid Trump dance and while doing a Trump impression. How else did you think I made my money, Dad?" All right. So Joe Biden gets replaced. Let me make sure I caught up on all my super chats. Oh, looks like Shady Davy D came in with a super chat. Sweet. Says 400 plus in the chat. Hit the like button for Jake. Jaron wishes he gets numbers. Jaron is basically done his Friday show. He canceled it. And then he has basically halfway flip-flopped on the moon landing. So his last live stream he did with some globe cuck, they talked about whether the moon landings were real or not. And Jaron is now saying he believes the moon is something that can be landed upon, and that he does believe that rovers and probes have been landed on the moon. He's just not certain if people have walked on the moon. So he's basically already halfway admitted to the moon landings. Two-thirds admitted that the moon landings are real now, right? So the next thing he's going to do, he's going to fully flip-flop, just like I told you he was going to do. So I predicted that Jaron was going to flip-flop on the moon landing, and he basically already has. He now believes that probes and rovers have landed on the moon. He's just not sure if people have walked on the moon. He's still a little skeptical about that. One or two more live streams with that globe cuck Dave McKeegan, and he's going to come full circle. Moon landing believer. How about that? Let's hit the thumbs up. Let me see how many thumbs up we have total right now. We have 236. Get me to 275 thumbs up. How about that? Can we get me to 275 thumbs up, y'all? That would really be awesome. If we could hook a brother up to 275 thumbs up right about right now. I got more show for you. Got more show for that ass. But I'm going to need to see some appreciation in the form of thumbs up if you want me to continue. Yeah. Thank you very much, Shady Davy D, for telling people to hit the like button. That is a good plan. Everybody should be smashing the like button right about now. 261 thumbs up. Let's get to 275 and we shall continue. In fact, let's get to 275 thumbs up and I will play not one, but 2 songs that I made about Joe Biden just for you. I'm going to play both my classic Joe Biden tunes, but let's get to 275 thumbs up. That's right. I got some Joe Biden tunes that you probably haven't heard in a while. And some of you guys may have never heard them. So we're about to have some fun. I'm about to play some funny songs featuring Creepy Joe because let's face it, the guy's about to die soon. We've just got the news. He's got butthole cancer and it spread to his boner. His butthole and his boner are about to fall off. And of course, when that happens, you die soon after. So Joe Biden is going to leave the world stage, you guys. Aren't you sad? I will remember you. Doop-a-doop-a-doo-doo. Will you remember me? Creepy Joe, you're such a creep. He touched a lot of little children. Doop-a-doop-doo-doo. All right, there you go. That had to be worth some thumbs up, right? How many thumbs up do I got now? 296 thumbs up. Wow. Awesome. Let's go ahead and make it an even 300 or more. We're at 296. Might as well make it 300 or more thumbs up. How about that? You guys are awesome. All right. Looks like another super chat just came in from Lint Away Duct Cleaning, the best Lint Away air duct cleaning service this side of the Mississippi. And no, he didn't pay me to say that. Or did he? I always say that whenever he sends me a super chat. It's like our ongoing inside joke. But it's not really an inside joke because I tell it to everyone. It's an outside joke. All right. All right. So as you guys can see, they've been doing CGI Joe, mask wearing Joe for a long time. When we zoom in on the neck, you can see there's clear definition between the neck and the face. And it's not just because of a shadow. It's not a tan line. The way it goes, this line goes all the way tucked back here. And then if you keep following it, you can see this clear pixel difference between this pasty white, pasted on face, if you will, over what looks like maybe somebody else's body. So this almost looks like it's someone else's body, and then they pasted Joe's face on it. Observing Reality said, the shills who have been provided for you, including all your conspiracy shows, will never consider he's been dead a while. Alexa knew he died after bike. So yeah, whenever a celebrity gets replaced, I always wonder if they're dead, like actually dead, or if they're retired and then they get to live out their life on Celebrity Island. So it's not just, Joe Biden here. I wonder what happened to Dave Chappelle, the original Dave Chappelle, whether he died or is still alive. I wonder what happened to the original Eminem. I wonder what happened to Vince McMahon. They have some imposter Vince McMahon now that they call Vince McMahon, but it's clear that it's not the same Vince. So then I wonder, did they kill Vince and then replace him? Or is there like a Celebrity Island where these guys get to live out the rest of their life in peace outside of the public eye without having to worry about a bunch of Joe Schmoes asking for autographs and shit? I don't know. I'm always stuck wondering, and there's no way for me to get to the bottom of it. So there's no way for me to really know what happened to the original Joe Biden. There's no way for me to know what happened to the original Dave Chappelle or the original Eminem or the original Vince McMahon or any celebrity who's been replaced. And damn it, it bothers me. I wish I could tell you, but I'm being totally 100% honest with you. Whenever I tell you that someone's been replaced, I totally believe that they have. But I'm not going to go as far as to be like, they're dead, because I don't know. And I'm not going to say like, oh, no, it's just a imposter, and then the original gets to retire, because I don't know. Those are my only two guesses, is that they're either dead or retired. So maybe some celebrities do actually die, and then they put the replacement there because they want to keep the money train rolling. They want to keep using that character even longer. So let's say like Paul McCartney, he accidentally dies in a car wreck, but they want to keep this gigantic Beatles band going. So then they stick the replacement Paul McCartney in there. So I think there's different scenarios where it could be a replacement out of necessity. And then there's other times where perhaps the celebrity maybe got too big for their britches or didn't do what they were told, and then they got forcibly removed. So I wonder if somebody like Vince McMahon got forcibly removed from his position and replaced. I don't know. And I can't figure it out one way or the other because there's no way to get to the bottom of that shit. So I can figure it out when someone's replaced. I just can't figure out what the hell they do with that person or whatever happened to them. You know, there's no way to ever get to the bottom of it, which sucks. I hate not being able to get to the bottom of shit and knowing that I won't ever get to the bottom of it, most likely. Kind of like, you know, not knowing what the moon is or what the sun is and knowing that you just won't ever know. All right. So thank you very much, Observing Reality. All right. All right, let's go ahead and throw on a couple of my classic Joe Biden tunes because I haven't played them in a while. And if Joe Biden's going to die, let's go ahead and have a pre-celebration of life. Joe Biden is probably going to die soon, y'all. So let's celebrate by playing some of my classic Joe Biden tunes. Let's start with the very influential tune that I came up with. I was one of the very first ones to say fuck Joe Biden and put it into song format. In fact, if you go back and you look at the dates, my fuck Joe Biden song was like the first song that features fuck Joe Biden in the lyrics. So without further ado,
fuck Joe Biden, 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 fuck Joe.
All around the world, they be talking about you, Joe. They say fuck Joe Biden to everyone they know. They be chanting at the game, chanting up your name. They say fuck Joe Biden each and every single day. Yeah.
Fuck Joe Biden, 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 fuck
Sniffing little girls, sucking, fucking up the world. He wants to jab you, he wants to jab me, he wants to jab everyone in your family tree.
Fuck Joe Biden. 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 Fuck Joe Biden.
all right, there you go. Short and sweet. But wait, there's more. I got more Joe Biden tunage for you. This next one is more of like an R&B tune. It's almost a sexy tune, except it's disgusting. So it's kind of tough for it to be a sexy tune because it's about Joe Biden touching children. Yes, I wrote a sexy tune about Joe Biden touching children. You wouldn't think it's possible, but it is. So without further ado, Joe Biden loves to touch children. The music video. And away we go.
Joe Biden loves to touch little children. Joe Biden loves to grow up on some women. Joe Biden loves to touch little children. Joe Biden loves to touch on women. Well, creepy Joe, he's losing all control, making all the women and children feel uncomfortable. He whispers in her ear, tell her something she don't want to hear. She pulls away from Joe's fear. Joe Biden loves to touch little children. Joe Biden loves to touch upon some women. Joe Biden loves to touch little children even on TV. Joe Biden, well, he's touched upon some women inappropriately. Joe Biden loves to touch little children even on TV. Joe Biden loves to touch all the women inappropriately. Joe Biden loves to touch little children even on TV. Joe Biden loves to touch all the women inappropriately. Joe Biden.
There you go. Little double dose. The Joe Biden songs. All right. So, Joe, we know that you don't have much time left. So this is the pre-celebration of Creepy Joe's life. You will be missed. You know, guys, I think that they're going with this cancer story so that they can gain a little bit of sympathy for Creepy Joe because he was hated in his later years. So the character, I think they want the character to get a little bit of sympathy before they remove the character off the world stage. So they can run with this like Joe Biden is declining rapidly because of cancer. So that some people, you know, the libs, the Dems, they feel sorry for him. Oh, poor Joe Biden. So then when he finally does die, he's not remembered as the guy who ran the country into the ground, right? So I think they can create a little sympathy around this world stage character with this cancer diagnosis. All right. Shady Davy D said, Jim Carrey was my favorite part-time Joe Biden actor. I am partial to Dana Carvey, personally. Dana Carvey and Jim Carrey, at one point, both played the role of Joe Biden. But I think that they probably passed that role around, or the mask around, I should say. They probably passed the Joe Biden they probably passed the Joe Biden mask around to maybe 20, 30 guys or more. That might be the joke, is that so many different people have played the role of Joe Biden. There's no way to put your finger on it as being one guy or the other. Simone says, what year did you realize both political sides are the same BS? For me, it was 2008. So I woke up to like everything, like almost all, well, not everything, but I woke up to most all conspiracies in like 2014. So I was basically a sheep up until like 2014. And then all at once I figured out like the moon landing was fake, and figured out that the contrails in the sky weren't just contrails, and then figured out that the Earth isn't a globe. And so 2014 was like the year where it just like all kind of hit me at once. Oh yeah, and the buildings coming down. So it was like I was a total sheep up until 2014, and then that was the year where I like figured out like those major conspiracies, and then from there opened up the floodgates for like every conspiracy ever known. Now look at me. Look what I do for a living. Thank you very much, Simone, for multiple donations tonight. You are a sweetheart. And wow, you figured out that the politics were a sham back in 2008. Yeah, see, I was still a sheep. I was back in 2008. I was really into music and playing in bands and trying to get my music going and stuff. So I didn't really care about any conspiracies, and I didn't really know about any conspiracies, and I didn't look into any of it. And so I had never dove down any of these rabbit holes until 2014. So me in 2008, 9, and 10, like I was all about writing songs and trying to get my band going, you know? So back then, yeah, I was like, you know, trying to, you know, plan out my next show and going to open mics and stuff like that and playing bass and stuff. So I was like an entirely different guy. Evan says, discovering the NFL was fake was my adult equivalent to Santa Claus ain't real moment. I no longer give a fuck about sports, politics, the news, etc. There was a time where I was a diehard NFL fanboy, and no shit, I used to even go to the sports bar to watch the Dolphins. So when I was a NFL fanboy, my team was the Dolphins. And here on the West Coast, the games would come on at 10 a.m. So the Dolphins were an East Coast team. So they were always on at 10 a.m. pretty much. And so that means I would go to a sports bar at 10 in the morning. I'd have to like set my alarm and get myself up on Sundays and go to the sports bar, because this was before streaming and shit. So back in the day when you had to go to a sports bar, that was the only way you were going to be able to see your out of market team play. And so I would go to the sports bar, and there would be like 6 or 7 big screen TVs. And there'd be like, oh, over here's the Green Bay and Minnesota game. And over here's the fucking Raiders people. And then over here's the fucking, 49ers people. And so they would have a TV set up for different fans, different games going on. And so there was probably like 5 or 6 different Dolphin fans that would show up. And most of those years, the Dolphins weren't very good. You know, they were average or shitty. And so a lot of times I'd be all excited and I'd get there, and then they'd start losing. Then 3 hours later, I'd leave like the sports bar depressed after sitting there and watching the Dolphins lose. The worst is if it's a close game the whole way and then they lose on like a final field goal. So then you walk out of the sports bar all dejected. And then the rest of my Sunday feels like shit. So that was another thing about being a fanboy, is like if the first 3 hours of my day was dedicated to a game and I'd be like screaming at the TV and then they'd fucking lose, then I would feel like shit and be mad for like the rest of the Sunday. Right? So yeah, being an NFL fan, when I look back, it was such a waste of time, especially on the days when the Dolphins would lose, and then it would like ruin my day basically. And then I look back now, I'm like, God, if only I just would have never got into that shit to begin with. I could have just spent my Sundays doing something else that I enjoyed. Oh, well, now, at least I've learned my lesson now. So it's where I don't make the same mistakes anymore. Nev Soul says dinosaurs are fake, but is it a cover-up? So I think dinosaurs are fake, but then I wonder if there were perhaps like big giant animals. So perhaps there was a time in history where there were some animals that were really big. So you could theoretically have like a big giant bone from, let's say, like, you know, a fucking really big elephant. But what if there was like a really big mammoth type elephant, but it just wasn't it wasn't alive thousands of years ago. Maybe it was just like a few hundred years ago, or maybe only 1,000 years ago. They had these big giant elephants or whatever. So I don't know. I wonder if they could have like bones from really big animals, like some real bones, and then try and pass those off as dinosaur bones. But then there's other cases where the bones are just straight up plaster fake bones. So I don't know as far as like, and then the ocean. So like in the ocean, are there big giant prehistoric sharks that were fucking, you know, 100 times the size of a great white? I don't know. Are there, you know, fucking kraken type sea monsters, like big gigantic squids and octopus? Could they have possibly existed at one time? I don't know. So stuff like that, like ancient animals that could have possibly existed, no way for me to know. But as far as dinosaurs, I don't believe in dinosaurs for a second. Anything that they tell us about millions of years ago or billions of years ago, I throw it right out the window. Furthermore, they use dinosaurs to make money. It's like a tourist attraction, so they can charge you money to see plaster bones in a museum. You know, they make these movies to brainwash kids, and then they use the dinosaurs to get the story of evolution over. So they can trick you into believing that, like, you know, a long time ago, millions of years ago, there were dinosaurs, but then rocks from outer space killed them. And then through millions of years of evolution, you know, animals evolved from this to the current form they are now. And so dinosaurs are part of their fictional evolution story, which is part of their fictional story about everything being created by a magical explosion millions and billions of years ago. So yeah, history is fake, and they go through great lengths to cover up what actually happened. Thank you very much, Nev Soul. We'll move on to a different subject now. Here's a car crash in motion that seems like it's just getting worse by the day. You guys ever heard of this fella, Frank Tufano? Any of you guys ever heard of this guy? So this guy didn't like the way his eyes looked. So then he got reconstructive eye surgery. But then his eyes were crooked, so then he got reconstructive eye surgery again and again and again. I think he's gotten eye surgery like 10 different times. And so I wanted to show you guys what it looks like if you go down the plastic surgery loop, because there's this YouTuber who it seems like he looked okay. He didn't look terrible. And then He just wanted to correct his eye bags, and now he's got permanently impaired vision and permanently messed up eyes. Let's check it out. Let's go back in time. Let's look at his older videos. Simone says, do you ever watch Ancient Aliens on the History Channel? We don't believe in space, but your thoughts on where we came from. I used to like space and alien stuff and things like that many years ago. So I stopped caring about, aliens and tales of outer space in 2014. Once I discovered that the Earth isn't a globe, the illusion of aliens from outer space was shattered permanently. And us coming from outer space or being created by a magic explosion was shattered permanently. So then I started to try and piece together, where does life come from? And there is no way for me to really know that. But I do come from a place of creation now. So I do believe we are created. I just don't know by whom or what or why. Couldn't tell you any of those things. But I no longer believe in a magical explosion that happened for no reason. I know that the Big Bang is bunk. I know that evolution is bunk. I know that we are indeed created divinely by a creator. The question is, who is the creator? I don't know. I don't claim to know. Some of you guys might claim to know, but I don't. Why were we created and what's the purpose? That I'm not sure of either. Still scratching my head on that. And perhaps that will be revealed when we die. Or at least maybe it will be revealed to me when I die what the whole purpose of this shit was. But I feel the incredible urge to do what I'm doing and tell the truth to you guys. And so I feel like, for whatever reason, I was put here to do what I'm doing here for you guys, Why? I'm not sure why, but I have this urge to do it, even though it doesn't pay that much money and has caused me a lot of stress throughout my tenure here on YouTube. Thank you very much, Simone, for yet another donation. So check it out, y'all. 8 years ago, this guy, Frankie, his first video you can go back and watch, says double jaw surgery. So this guy enters YouTube talking about surgery. Check it out.
Hi, how are you? This is my before video for double jaw and genioplasty surgery. It is Sunday, May 22nd, approximately 4:15 p.m. I'm having the surgery in 2 days on Tuesday, and this is just going to show my bite right now, my facial profile. So, as you can see, my teeth are relatively straight. Relatively straight, a bit of a cross bite, a bit of an under bite right now, but
double jaw surgery. Now, some people might be wondering if this guy maybe transitioned, maybe he's a transformer or something. That might even be a possibility. But just to show you, the first video this guy shows up with, right, on his channel is about jaw surgery. Now let's go to his most popular video. His most popular stuff is when he would make videos similar to what Goatus or Spherage does, where he would make fun of vegans or talk about how their diet isn't good. He would expose the vegan diet as being unhealthy. And he also got into the carnivore diet. So he had a lot of success talking about what he eats on the carnivore diet. But this was many years ago, back when the carnivore diet was blowing up.
What's going on? I'm going to show you guys a nutrient-dense carnivore meal, the foods I eat, and why I eat them. So here we obviously have some bone marrow, lamb heart. Bad for anyone that's been eating cold meat.
So as you can see, he's got these like dark eye circles. He's kind of got eyes that look very similar to like Sylvester Stallone. So when I look at his old pictures of Frank, I see like Sylvester Stallone eyes, kind of. So for whatever reason, Frank didn't like his eyes and he wanted to surgically enhance them. So he wanted to get eye surgery to fix his eyes. Problem is, it didn't work out so well. And now he's to the point where he's basically destroyed his face, destroyed his eyes. And it looks like things are getting even worse, because not only did he destroy his face, but his whole life seems to be like circling the toilet bowl. But there's one thing that he did that has me scratching my head and wondering if it's all by design, all done for an evil, nefarious reason. Check it out. So the dude was getting big view counts here on YouTube with simple what I eat in a day videos. Like this video right here. It was 230,000 views. This one right here, 542,000 views. So he has quite a few videos, but all of his big view counts are from like 5-6 years ago. So the view count started to dry up. And if we go to his latest videos, let me find one where he's talking about his eye surgery. Look at this.
Frank, give us an eye update. Frank, give us an eye update. Frank, give us an eye update. My eyes are fucking crooked. What am I supposed to say? You guys are ridiculous. So let me.
So now this is what happened after he got surgery on his eyes. They were crooked. So then he got multiple procedures, and every time it's like it just gets worse, y'all.
Let me actually put my phone down somewhere, because this is going to be a little bit of an explanation, but long story short, it's almost 2 in the morning. We have a 5:45 a.m. check-in at New York Eye and Ear first. What's going to happen is, now that the right eye is straight.
I mean, look at this, y'all. Oh my God.
And more importantly, I can see straight. I don't have.
Like, he should have just fucking left them alone. Like he had Sylvester Stallone eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, there were people in his comment section that were like, Frank, you looked fine. There were some even women saying like, you looked handsome. Why did you do this to yourself? And you know what it caused them to do? Get more eye surgeries. So the more that people commented about how he fucked up his eyes, caused them to get more eye surgery and fuck up his eyes even more.
Have double vision anymore. The left eye should correct itself over the next 3 weeks, and both of my eyes should be straight.
All right, so check it out. So let's go to his most recent videos now. Fucking.
Yes. Yeah, some of you guys are saying.
Oh my God! What the fuck? What?
I have a filter on. No. Unfortunately, we had orbital reconstruction yesterday. However, it did go incredibly well. The doctor said that
it went incredibly well, you guys. This is incredibly well.
everything looked really good before the swelling set in. So I'm excited to recover these next few weeks and see what else has to be done to restore my eyes to where they're supposed to be.
Looks like Dr. Taban has his full Illuminati goon squad on payroll, because after posting that orbital reconstruction video last night, I woke up to like 100 comments, literally 100 comments. Frank, leave your eyes alone. Dr. Taban already fixed them. Frank.
So Frank is really angry at the doctor who botched his eyes. And so he has this lawsuit that he's attempting, or I guess he's already filed this lawsuit. He's attempting to sue this doctor. And then this doctor is fighting back in the form of having a bunch of bot comments accuse Frank of being crazy, and that the doctor corrected his eyes, and that all the extra surgeries Frank got afterwards is the reason why his eyes are messed up. So there's a back and forth between the doctor he claims that messed up his eyes and Frank, and it's getting ugly. And videos like this, like, oh my God, like, look.
I can't really see with both my eyes. When I focus on my right eye, this left eye looks really out and crazy. When I focus with my left eye, my right eye looks really out and crazy. You guys were asking me why I didn't wipe the blood off my face. It was because I didn't want to disturb or touch anything, but
So now when this finally heals up, is he going to be happy with the results and stop? Or is he going to continue? Chances are he's probably going to end up getting more of these surgeries until he has like no more eyeballs left.
I guess we're going to have to wait at least another week or two to see how wonky things are. Some of you guys might be saying that like my right eye looks a lot different, but that's because the upper eyelid ptosis was done incorrectly the first.
All right. Now, here's the part where I was scratching my head, because at first I was like, man, Frank's just mentally ill, and he's going down that rabbit hole of thinking that the next surgery will fix it, the next one will fix it, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. And he's gonna spiral out of control, and he thinks that what's going to cure his depression is fixing his eyes, and his eyes are basically unfixable. And so I was thinking it was mainly mental illness, which is causing him to do what he's doing. But then I spotted something on his fucking neck that wasn't there last month. Let me show you guys. Let's check this out. If we go to his latest videos. Look at this.
So I've seen
no tattoo on his neck, right? No tattoo on his neck. And this is a little over a month ago, March 23rd. So not that long ago. And then right here, this is the most recent video. Look what he's got on his neck. It's a fucking a mason sign. There's the G. This is a straight up full-blown Mason sign on his neck.
All right, boys, we're in frog mode. Post your frog emojis in the comments.
So he got this eye surgery, which he claims is super expensive. This is like his 10th eye surgery. And he's staying in this house, this rehabilitation house or whatever in California, in LA, which is also super expensive. And then in the last month, he has this new Mason's tattoo on his fucking neck.
I was going to film this 1 week surgery update video, and I stepped outside this house, and I have never smelled so many chemicals and whatever they're spraying in the air in my life. I thought it was bad by me in Pennsylvania, but out here in Los Angeles, I guess, with the high population and stuff, they're just...
So I'm Rig doesn't like looking at this guy's face. Hey, bro, if you can't handle it, switch away for a few more minutes. I'm going to be wrapping it up soon. So give me like 10, 15 more minutes to like put a bow on this one, because I wanted to make a point. I thought it was mental illness until I spotted this fucking tattoo on his fucking neck that just showed up in the last month. And so I almost feel like this guy is being given money or being funded to get these surgeries, because who in their right mind would get a neck tattoo of a Masonic symbol if you're so depressed about your eyes being ruined? So check this out.
Can you please explain that again?
Document fees or taxes? Any document?
A New York sales tax.
So here is when he just started getting it, because it's not filled in yet. So look at this. New York DMV threatened to arrest me. He always posts these dramatic videos where the police are gang stalking him and Illuminati shills are gang stalking him. So he always posts these videos where he's like frantic and manic and saying that he's being gang stalked. And then I notice right here, he's got this G, right? So this Masonic tattoo. And then this happened. This is April 16th. So since this date, he's filled it in with even more detail. So at the same time, when you're getting all of these eye surgeries, you're also getting this super detailed neck tattoo. Look at this. So I'm wondering if by chance this guy's getting funded, because he's e-begging and saying, oh, my eyes are messed up and my business is failing and these goons are gang stalking me and the police are gang stalking me. So he's an e-beggar, and he's a guy who like wants people to feel sorry for him so that you send him money. But then he's got this fucking tattoo right here, and it's been added to recently.
So you guys saw the short I posted last week where I drove down to the DMV. They gave me a hard time. They wouldn't let me fill the out-of-state tax forms. So I said, okay, fine. I came back with my bill of sale. I was willing to pay New York sales tax. And then the lady starts arguing, oh, you're not paying tax on just the value of the vehicle.
This is exactly what some guy said when I commented on the video. I said, hey, what's up with the Mason tattoo? And you know what someone else said, some random guy? It's inverted, which means he's against the Masons. Fuck you. Oh, so if you're against the Masons, you get one on your fucking neck upside down, and that means you're anti-Mason? Hey, there's a lot of things that I don't like. I don't tattoo it on my fucking body. I don't mutilate my skin in order to show that I don't like stuff. I'm anti-politicians. I'm not going to get Trump upside down on my fucking neck. I think Joe Biden's been replaced. I'm not going to put an upside down Joe Biden on my fucking body. So anybody saying, oh, well, it's an inverted, so that means that he doesn't like Masons. It's almost like you're sticking up for Frank Tufano in his fucking Mason tattoo, which is exactly what the comment said when I commented on his video. Hey, what's up with the Mason tat? Oh, he's anti-Mason. Don't you know? It's inverted, so it means he doesn't like Masons. Oh, okay. So whatever you don't like, you get that on your body tattooed upside down to show your displeasure. You sound like a fucking Frank shill, bro. Anybody who gets tattoos, especially of a Masonic symbol in any form, is a fucking idiot. Whether they're anti-Mason or pro-Mason. Funny how your comment exactly matches the comment that someone left when I called Frank out for his fucking tattoo. I can even show you what I'm talking about. It's on his recent video. But listen to this shit that he posts. New York DMV threatened to arrest me.
You have to pay tax on the separate title fee that the auction company charged you to give you a title for the vehicle. Which, to me, I don't know if that's legitimate or that makes sense. I purchased the vehicle from the auction company for $100. Broken vehicle, complete trash. Then I paid $150 for the auction company to give me the title fee. And the DMV is saying that I need to pay taxes on that separate title fee that the auction charged me. And when I said, no, that's not fair, the lady started arguing with me, and then the police officers kicked me out, which is completely fucking crazy. I am 100% going to file a lawsuit now. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
So this isn't like a one-off video where he was mad this one day. He posts videos like this like every week. There's something every week where he's like, oh, they're gang stalking me. they're showing up to my house and they're messing with me. They're messing with my business. Man, help me, my eyes. Ah. It's just everything's just dark, depressing, and shitty in this man's world. And if that's the case, why would you get that fucking tattoo on your neck? Son of Beast said, keep up the great work. Don't forget to mention the starving people us Americans fund to blockade, humanitarian aid, in Palestinian, end the blockade. Well, I don't know about all the rest of that stuff, but for any of you guys who know what he's talking about, I don't know. I'm not keeping up with a blockade in Palestine right now. I keep up on what's happening in my country in front of me. So anything that happens in any other country where I'm not around, I just don't really give a shit. But since you're sending me money and you give a shit, I will let your message be read by all. So Son of Beast wants everybody to know that there's starving people and to end the blockade in Palestine. And he also sent another super chat as well, it looks like. Son of Beast said, the Amish are Masonic also. Few realize. Are they? I have never heard that the Amish are Masonic. You learn something new every day. Thank you, Son of Beast. I would have never known that the Amish were Masonic. I'm going to keep an eye out for those Masonic Amish. Next time I see them churning butter and shit, I'm going to see if they like flash a 666 sign. Keep my eyes peeled for these sneaky scoundrel Amish. All right, so check it out, y'all. So this, you can see the tattoo on his neck right here. And this is like the beginnings of it. And then more recently, the most recent video, now it's all filled in. So this is the latest video. Orbital reconstruction 1 week update.
They're just bombing people, so maybe I'll go back inside before my headache gets any worse. So the most amount of orbital reconstruction surgeries out of any surgeon in the United States. He is by far the most experienced, and he has seen the most cases. That is unquestionable. So his main marketing thing is for like thyroid eye disease, Graves' disease. That they're very experienced with decompressions in general. So like obviously I should have gone to this guy in the first place, but there was no one better to fix this, and I'm confident that he basically returned my eyes to as good as a state as they could be. Of course, I'm not going to look like I did originally because he just reversed the decompression. There were several other procedures that were done to me that may or may not have to be fixed down the line. But I think the main dizziness and issues I'm experiencing now are due to the eye misalignment. So that's the main thing we're hoping is going to get better.
All right, y'all check out these watch. If I go to the comments, people are going to be like, good Lord, stop messing with your eyes, Frank. The wildest part is he looked totally fine before it all. How the fuck can they make eyes look different ways? This guy is living life on hard mode. Frog maxing. Neck tattoo health benefits you received, bro. Neck tattoo health benefits you received, bro. Bro is getting a PhD in eye surgery after he finished with all this. Freemason neck tattoo. Guys, this is a clone. They killed Frankie. No, Frankie's just a fucking Mason who maybe is getting free eye surgery from some fucking Mason doctor, but he has to like show his allegiance by getting the tattoo. I don't know why, but it seems like he's showing his allegiance to the Masons by getting that tattoo. Hope Frankie has learned to value health and well-being over superficial appearance. Yeah, it doesn't look like that's gonna like that's gonna come to fruition. Chances are, once he heals up, he's not gonna be happy with the results, and he's gonna want another surgery. I can't believe this is Frankie I grew up on. The old Frankie would have figured out a biohacking way to achieve hunter eyes. Other than the eye misalignment, the eyes do look a lot better. Other than you looking like a fucking frog with fucking crooked ass eyes, it totally looks good, man. Dude, stop with the vanity projects. For one, Narcissus wasn't meant to be copied. And for two, you promote healthy living. Face it, you're going to age. It's part of life. You cannot change that. Just accept it and smash your mirrors. Anyway, so basically everybody just commenting on his looks. And if he goes and he reads those, it's just going to make him feel more depressed and make him feel more inadequate and insecure. And then he's just going to want to go get more surgery.
But we're definitely not going to do anything extreme moving forward. You know, I've definitely pushed my luck, and there's no reason for me to try to, you know, max out the next percent. Like redoing the implants is incredibly risky. That's out of the question. That's something I talked to the doctor about on Thursday, and he educated me on how risky and how dangerous the implants in these areas are, mainly due to the nerves and the location of tendons. So that's completely out of the question. If my eyelids are off a little bit, that's not that big of a deal to fix. Fat grafting seems to be very safe, and that might fix some of the asymmetries if it's necessary.
All right, we got a super chat from Son of Beast. It says, thank you for the genocidal mention. This is TED TV. For your information, I'm changing to a roller coaster channel. The Beast is the best roller coaster. I'll send you an email of Amish graffiti that shows their Masonic knowledge. Amish graffiti? You're telling me the Amish spray paint graffiti? Do they use spray paint canisters? I've never seen an Amish person spray painting anything or seen an Amish person putting graffiti on anything. I've never even heard graffiti and Amish put together in the same sentence before. So that would definitely be a new one for me. And TED TV, I do remember you sent several very generous donations, which I appreciate. And you say you're changing to a roller coaster channel, as in like actual roller coasters that you like ride on at theme parks. Is that what you mean? Or do you mean like a metaphorical roller coaster? I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but best of luck to you with whatever you do with your channel. And yeah, feel free to send me an email with whatever you got. Thank you very much, Son of Beast. Shunter Thompson said, this guy looks like Matt Dillon and Decoy Voices Butt Baby. What? Matt Dillon. Okay, Matt Dillon, I got. Decoy Voices Butt Baby. Thanks for unblocking me, bro. I unblocked a shitload of people. There was like 1,000 people blocked, and it took forever for me to try and find you. So what I ended up doing was just unblock like every troll who I ever blocked. So anybody who gets reblocked now, you deserve it. So you're welcome. Mistakes happen. You're unblocked. Hopefully I don't accidentally block you again, because I know that you are a supporter of the channel and you've donated before. So sorry for accidentally blocking you before, brother. And yeah, he does kind of look like Matt Dillon, but the Decoy Voices Butt Baby, I'm totally confused. Does anybody know what he's talking about when he says Decoy Voices Butt Baby? Decoy Voices Butt Baby. Thank you very much, Shunter Thompson.
Sorry, but those are very, very minimally invasive, and those are very easy. We shouldn't have to worry about those. But anything major like further implants or fixing other parts of my face, completely out of the question from a risk perspective. The only reason I can't recommend other people get plastic surgery is because what I've been through. What I went through initially was a very high risk surgery, but I might have been the worst botch that guy has ever done. I haven't seen any botches worse than mine from Dr. Taban. So, how crazy is that? You go to the best plastic surgeon, the most famous one, and you end up being his worst botch case ever. Don't remove that from the realm of possibilities. That's, you could be going to the most experienced surgeon. It could be the easiest surgery ever, really routine stuff. But what if that surgeon has the worst day of his life? That could have been what happened. And that's likely what happened to me when he messed up all four. Maybe in other surgeries he's performed on other people, when he does these 3 or 4 surgeries at once, maybe he messed up 1 or 2 of them and it didn't look that bad. But the combination of him messing up all 4 of those surgeries on me to various degrees is what made this such a horrific case. And then the system isn't set up to help you. Like what that doctor should have done was, give me my money back from the surgery and then help pay for the other procedures. Instead, it was the opposite. I'm still like going after him in videos and trying to get some compensation, but it's really corrupt and it's disgusting. And most people were in worse situations than me. I was.
All right, so check it out. I want to show you guys that I commented on this video about his tattoo. Unless he got rid of it. Wonder if he got fucking rid of it. Yeah, looks like he deleted my comment. I asked him about his Masonic tattoo. Looks like it's deleted. Whatever. Anyway, so I found that to be pretty strange that this dude who like is crying about how his eyes have been botched and it costs so much money and he's got to sue it, but then he's got this new Masonic tattoo on his neck. Very strange. Almost makes me wonder if like the surgery's like being provided, but he's got to show his allegiance by getting the neck tattoo. I don't know. Very strange. Oh, apparently the guy Decoy Voice is an Asian YouTuber. When he said Decoy Voice butt baby or something like that, he was talking about some other YouTuber who I was unaware of. Gotcha. Thank you, Stephen Landry. That clears it up. Makes sense. All right. So with that said, I pretty much got through all the stuff I wanted to get through. So we could just do some open topic chat. You guys can ask me whatever you want. And we can just stream a little longer, just chatting it up about whatever you guys want to talk about. So the floor is open. If you guys have any comedic requests or any questions you want to ask, and now is the time. But first, we got 441 people watching. That's like the most we've had tonight, I think. So let me go ahead and ask you guys to give me 400 thumbs up because I see 369 thumbs up. So let's quickly get me to 400 thumbs up right about now. How about that? 400 thumbs up. If you guys have had fun tonight, if you've enjoyed the first 2 hours of the show and you want to continue having fun, hook a brother up with the thumbs up right about now. 400 thumbs up or more. Make it happen. Jake is showing his personal incredulity. Of course, when the Mexican naval ship hit the bridge, of course it was real. There's literally no reason why they would fake a ship hitting a bridge for any reason. Personal incredulity. Jaren, of course, he is not experiencing personal incredulity because he is an honest man who admit that there is a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Jake, however, won't admit that the 24-hour sun does exist and that therefore the Earth is a globe due to his personal incredulity. All right, Son of Beast said, TED TV keeps supporting you. Amish men know things. I've never talked to an Amish guy. So it's like I've seen videos of Amish people and stuff, right? Like documentaries. And I've seen the movie Kingpin, which of course has an accurate depiction of the Amish in the movie. But as far as like hanging out with the Amish and like talking with somebody who's Amish, I don't have any Amish friends that I know of. And so, yeah, I've never actually sat down and had a conversation with someone who's Amish. So perhaps they do know things. Perhaps there's more than meets the eye to these Amish. Thank you, Son of Beast, for cluing us in on the Amish knowing more than they're letting on. Shunter Thompson says, dude Cheech getting rejected at a sperm bank.
Hey man, I'm here to sell my sperm, man. I heard that you guys are looking for some gentlemen to give you a donation. Not only will I give you a donation, I got the top of the line sperm. I got too many. There's too many for me to keep, man. So I want to sell you guys some of my sperm.
Well, have you used any drugs in the past 24 hours?
Yeah, man, I smoke a big fat joint like this, man. I was smoking since I was born, man. I smoke so much, man, it doesn't even get me high, man. I smoke just to get normal, man.
Well, I'm sorry, sir, but we don't accept any sperm donations from anyone who's used any drugs. So we're going to have to reject you. I'm very sorry, but you are free to come back in 30 days once all of the THC has left your system.
Come back in 30 days? You gotta be crazy, man. I'm never gonna go 30 days without THC in my system, man. I got THC in my system all the time, man. I've had THC in my system before I was even born, man. My mom was smoking up and getting high, man, to win out before I was even born. I had THC all up in my system, man. I don't even go 30 minutes without THC in my system, man. That's never gonna happen, man. You know what? Screw it. You don't even deserve any of my sperm, man. In fact, I'm gonna keep it all. Well, maybe I'm gonna give some to my girl later on tonight, but you don't deserve any of my sperm, man. So I'm just gonna keep it, man.
There you go. Cheech getting rejected at the sperm bank. Just for you. Zach W says, you see, fittest thinks Sam Tripoli is Francis Bacon. What do you think? Just a couple shill. If you're talking about fittest flat earther, that guy's a fucking shill. He'll say this person is that person, but then like he names a bunch of people. Like he says Keanu Reeves is Jim Carrey, which is fucking stupid. So he will say some of them that I believe are true. Like I think he said like there's a few of them that he actually does say that I believe are true celebrity dual roles, but some of them he's lying. So he says Jim Carrey is Keanu Reeves. He says that God, who else does he say? He said Prince is David Blaine. Yeah, he says Prince is Cat Williams and David Blaine. So this fittest flat earther guy, he's throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks. You know, he'll say like, oh, Robin Williams is playing this dual role. And it's like, yeah, that might be true. But like Keanu Reeves is not Jim Carrey. That's just fucking stupid. So anybody who tries to get like clicks just by like claiming this person plays that person, and they don't have any other sort of like content worth a damn, and they don't have any actual evidence beside, look, they look the same. Yeah, if that's what their whole channel's based on, it's just a bullshit channel for clicks. So yeah, the fittest flat earther guy, he's a fucking shill. He looks like law enforcement. I would never watch him again if I were you. It's a fucking waste of time. All right. And Destiny Dude said, just tuned in. My son said he is sick of hearing Grandpop's Fox News brainwashing and wanted to watch you instead. Good idea. No brainwashing here, just some clean cut truth and comedy. It's comedy and truth mixed together. It's basically the truth as I see it, and I try to bring it to you in a humorous and entertaining way. And so, yeah, you live in a time where the guy with the funky hat who acts crazy and stupid brings you like 1,000% more truth than the nightly news, which is basically brainwashing material meant to dupe you and lead you down rabbit holes to nowhere. Thank you very much, Destiny Dude. Glad to hear that your son and you are both watching tonight's stream. Like father, like son. Get your kids started on my content early, and then by the time they're teenagers, right, then there'll be full-blown fans. And then as you get older, then your kid will become like a hardcore watcher of my content, right? Pass it down to your kid, right? The watching of my content should be shared amongst families and generations. Thank you very much, Destiny Dude. Looks like I got a few other super chats coming in. Catch up with all of them. Looks like I got one from Lemming in a shiny metal box. Lemming in a shiny metal box says, Sir Jake, I remember the first conspiracy I uncovered on my own was way back in the 90s when I cracked open a brand new inkjet printer cartridge and there was a minuscule amount of ink within. Hope you had a good week. Bro, and they're still ripping people off with that damn printer ink, right? You go get the black ink, you print a few documents, and then it's like, your black ink is low. Still ripping people off with that shit, man. And you know it's cheap. It shouldn't cost that much. Totally, bro. This guy went as far as to like crack open an actual ink cartridge to find out that there wasn't much ink inside. Lemming in a shiny metal box. Figuring out that the world was bullshit way back when I was still a total sheeple. I'm rigged. Coming in with another donation. Said the powers that be can't keep this fakery about our reality and space forever. Do you see them ending us and beginning a new earth? Sorry to get doom and gloom on y'all. I don't see them ending the earth. No, what I see them doing is locking us down more and more and more, turning our life into a total prison system where we can't really go anywhere or do anything without being watched, without them knowing exactly where we're at and what we're doing. So basically, for us folks at the bottom, it's going to be a surveillance state, slave state. But for those at the tippity top, oh, well, the world will be your oyster. You have all of us peons all stuck in 15-minute cities. And, you know, we won't be able to travel anywhere or go anywhere and do anything because that's all been banned and taken away from us, right? So I feel like things are more headed towards like a Demolition Man style future where they just make our reality more and more based around technology to the point where we're just locked in our house with an internet cable stuck in our head, you know, or internet being streamed straight to our brain, internet being Bluetoothed straight to our brain chips that Elon Musk sold us. So no, I don't think they're going to end the earth. I just think that they're just going to just keep taking away everything about life that we enjoy until there's basically nothing left for us peons to enjoy. But the people at the tippitiest of the tip top, they'll still get to enjoy all the great things in life. They're just going to take it away from us. And then they're going to feed on our misery, which will make them in turn more happy, knowing how miserable we are with our robotic, enslaved, shitty life. Meanwhile, they're free from all of it. You know, our slave masters. Not fun to think about, is it? And as far as ending us, yeah, we're on our way to being ended as far as United States as a country and white middle class America. Yeah, all these things are definitely coming to an end very soon. And it's not doom and gloom. It's pretty much the truth, the sad truth. Son of Beast said, you get that way, more tips when I stop by and talk about random stuff and drop money. TED TV. Thank you, Son of Beast, for your multiple donations. It's your guys' generosity which helps keeps this channel going. Holy crap, I have a bunch of super chats coming in. Let me go back and get them all in order. All right, I see a bunch of super chats coming in, guys. Let me go back and try and catch them all in the correct order so that I don't accidentally skip anyone. All right, so I had another one from Son of Beast before this one. All right. I'm going to go back and read your other one, Son of Beast. Looks like you sent a few tips at once. Son of Beast said, TED TV keeps supporting you. Amish men know things. Oh, yeah, I did read that one. Okay, Son of Beast said, send Jake money. He is the best news. MK Ultra brainwashing is now in AI apps and social media. Man, you know what sucks about the AI thing is now it's like YouTubers are all using it. And they're almost making it out like you have to use AI or you're going to be left behind. So now YouTubers are using this thing called the vidIQ, where they're using AI to come up with titles, AI to write scripts. So people are like, oh, AI vidIQ, please write a script for me that's better than this video. And then you put the video link and then the AI like watches the video and then shoots you out a script that's supposedly going to be better than the video you just watched. And then it gives you like different titles and stuff. So since I don't use any of these tools, I'm still trying to come up with my own titles, still trying to make my own content without the assistance of AI. And guess what? I don't get those big view counts. So apparently, if you want the big view counts, if you want to like keep up, you have to have AI pick out your fucking title, because it's going to compare it with all these other titles and pick out a better title than you can come up with or that I can come up with. So I'm a dumb fuck who's going to come up with the wrong title and get thousands of views less if I do it. But if I have AI do it, oh, it's so smart. It's going to pick the right fucking title way better than me. And then I'll get more views and make more money. So it's almost like I'm stupid if I don't use the AI. That's what pisses me off. I'm being almost forced into having to fucking start doing AI titles. Otherwise, my titles aren't good enough. And I'm seeing so many other YouTubers just like crap out content just for views. Like, oh, hi, I'm Zach Rios. I'm going to react to people who live in storage units today. Yep, people live in storage units. I'm Zach Rios. Hi, I'm fucking Jack. I'm Jack, and I'm going to react to people. Hey, this guy's poor. He spent a lot of money on his car. I'm going to react to people spending money on cars. And so now it's like everybody's video is like an AI title and them reacting to other people's fucking videos where they spent a lot of money. And that's what everyone wants to watch. So now I just see like every YouTuber who's just starting out is doing reaction videos with AI fucking titles. And they're getting way more views than me. Fucking Jack Morgan can just be like, whoa, this guy talking about living in his car. Whoa, this guy sleeps in a tent. Oh, wow. I'm reacting. 200,000 views. Meanwhile, I give people like real news breakdowns. I can barely get fucking 10,000 views. Anyway, I can go on and on, dude. I'm extra pissed at these reaction channels because it just seems like they're getting way too many views for doing fucking nothing. Hi, I'm just going to react to whatever I feel like and get 100,000 views. Hey, I'm going to react to a guy sitting in his car who's reacting to another guy sitting in his car who's reacting to another guy sitting in his car. Yep. He's making a video sitting in his car and I'm reacting to it. Maybe I should sit in my car and react to a guy sitting in his car who's watching a guy sitting in his car who's talking about how he doesn't have a job and why he's sitting in his car. And that's fucking what everybody's watching now. The YouTube algorithms are promoting people sitting in their fucking car. And you know what? Now I'm like, I guess I need to go sit in my car if I want to get views. And guess what? I've sat in my car and I got a decent amount of views. Got more subs than when I didn't sit in my car and bitch. All right. All right. Let's see. I'm rigged. Son of a beast. All right. I'm going to try my best to catch up with all these super chats real quick. I went off on a fucking rant. Looks like more super chats are coming in. And I'm losing my spot. Doxological Thinker said, can you do Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about the moon landing on Jaren's stream? One of the things that makes science so interesting is that we don't know all that there is to know. So therefore, one of the key pieces to being intelligent is knowing that there's more that we don't know than we actually do know. And isn't that something that we should all want to be curious about knowing in the first place? So Jaren, he used to not believe in the moon landing. But then he saw the light, so to speak. He saw the evidence that man, indeed, walked on the moon several times, in fact. And now he's come to a different conclusion, that man has walked on the moon. There you go. Doxological thinker with a Neil deGrasse Tyson impression request. And just before that, looks like I had another one from Son of Beast. Said, send Jake more money. He is the only news we have. MK Ultra never stopped. I totally agree with Son of Beast. That sounds like a great plan. MK Ultra must be stopped. So send Jake money to stop the MK Ultra. Sounds like a hell of a plan, sir. And one baller says, have you ever tried to disprove your teacher's teachings? Well, if you mean by stuff I was taught in school, yeah, you know, once I uncover any sort of conspiracy, that basically like disproves stuff that I was taught by teachers. So it just depends on who you mean by teachers. Are you talking about like school teachers? So yeah, anything that I found out wasn't real, you know, like dinosaurs. Well, that disproved what my kindergarten and first grade and second grade and third grade and fourth grade, all the teachers that ever talked about dinosaurs, they got disproved once I figured out that dinosaurs aren't real. So yes. And then I could go as far as to say, you know, when I first learned that the earth is flat and not a globe, you could say that one of my early teachers was Eric Dubé. But I've since learned Eric Dubé is a lying shill who pushed disinformation about a circling sun and a circling moon, and he still pushes disinformation. So even some of my conspiratorial teachers, like Eric Dubé, come to find out just another gatekeeping shillbag pushing disinformation. So I had to become my own teacher and teach myself. And I'm still learning to this day, still looking at new evidence and new information as it comes in. Thank you, and one ballers. Son of Beast said, you get way more tips when I stop by and talk about random stuff. I think I read that one. You do, or I do. I get more tips when Ted shows up and gives me tips, and then everyone gives me tips. It helps me get more tips. Thank you, Son of Beast. He said, I love sending Jake money. I love when you send me money, Son of Beast. You are a gentleman and a scholar, sir. I can't thank you enough. Your guys' generosity helps keep programs like this going. In fact, it gives me the motivation to continue. If I wasn't making jack shit and totally losing money and nobody was here to support me, it would suck a lot worse. I might not have the motivation to continue. But luckily, that's not the case. You guys are awesome, and you're totally hooking a brother up with some super chat cheddar, and I feel the love. So I will continue doing what I do for many, many moons. Many moons. I don't usually say many moons, but I did tonight. RL says, Jake, you rock. Thanks for your quality content. You always make me laugh. Hawking's vid is major classic. So that was actually from a live stream, but then I clipped it and turned it into a video. So I do funny stuff in like all of my streams. And, you know, if I was so inclined, I could clip up all my streams and turn it into shorter form content. But I don't do it. Speaking of content, I need to make more content. I realize that like too many days go by and I'm not cranking out content. But the thing is, I don't want to make mindless content like these reaction channels that just react to any old stupid thing, right? So I'm noticing there's all these reaction channels that are just trying to react to anything just so they can get views and get money. And it's working. And then I'm like, well, shit, is that what people want? Do they want just mindless reaction content? You know, should I like stop what I'm doing and like fucking react to these TikTokers? Is that what everyone wants? So seeing the way YouTube is like turning more and more into just people cranking out just mindless content, it's like it's tough to stay motivated in creating content and then coming up with new ideas. So there's days where I'm like, what should I make a video about today? How much shit sucks? Well, so much shit sucks. What exact thing should I talk about that sucks? And then I'm like, that's too depressing. Nah, so then sometimes just trying to find something that I want to talk about that doesn't sound like depressing doom and gloom shit, that can be a chore. Or something that's interesting, because I don't want to feel like I'm just trying to crank out content just to crank out content. But then again, my job is to crank out content and make content because I'm a content creator. So if I go too many days without making a video, then I'm like, fuck, I need to get my ass in gear and make some sort of content. So there's days where I look at all the shit on the news and I'm like, ugh, everything sucks. What sucky thing should I talk about? What will my audience enjoy? So I'm realizing I should probably just make more content, just throw some more subjects out there, run it up the flagpole, see what you guys think. And if the video sucks, well, then it won't get many views. And if it's good, well, then maybe you guys will like it and share it and it'll get decent view counts. And then I'll make more videos like that. I see all these channels that are like, making the same thumbnails over and over, the same titles over and over. And then when you go to their channel, it's like every thumbnail looks the same, like their channel's branded, or every single video title's similar, every thumbnail's very similar. Whereas like all my titles are different, and all my thumbnails are different, and my channel's just like random. So I get a bunch of random results. So yeah, it's weird having a random channel and then seeing everyone else on YouTube that's like focused on their niche, doing the exact same thing every single time. Whereas I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. Maybe I'll try this, see if it works. So that's one thing with my content. You just don't totally know what you're going to get for sure. And even I don't even know what I'm going to do for sure. RL. Okay, next is Joey EEGGG. And everybody come in with super chats. Hold tight. I got a bunch that I need to get through. I don't want to miss any. Okay, Joey EEG says, Jake has long been in one of the best channels on all of YouTube. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Just when I look at my channel, I'm like, what even is my channel? It's like NFL rigged content. But then when it's not NFL season, then I just post like random shit. It's like it's conspiratorial based somewhat, some of it. But then some of it, you know, isn't, you know, like when I'm making fun of like, you know, Michelle Obama being a man, like that's not really conspiratorial. It's just pretty much pointing out an obvious, right? So some of my content, even I'm like, what even is my channel? Like, what even is my niche? And then like, I don't want to separate, you know, my channel into like 4 or 5 different channels. Like, oh, this is Jake Fake Sports channel, and this is Jake Conspiracy channel, and this is you know, Jake Reacts to TikTok channel. You know what I mean? Because it's like if I spread myself out to, you know, 3 or 4 different channels, then it's like I'm taking my focus away from this, the main channel. And so then when I post all sorts of different content here on just this one channel, then it's like YouTube doesn't know what my niche is. So then they have trouble recommending me to the right audience. And then I see these other channels that have their one niche and all their thumbnails are the same and all their titles are the same. And they're just like clockwork, 100,000 views, 100,000 views every single time they upload. Their channel fucking go, you know, every single week goes up a couple thousand subs. Whereas meanwhile, it's like my sub count freezes unless I'm making NFL rigged content. That's like the only time it goes up. So it's a pain in the ass to have to deal with this shit here on YouTube and see this ever-changing landscape where it's like all these channels are like niche-driven and using AI to come up with their titles and their scripts. And meanwhile, I'm still trying to do it all myself. Anyway, but, you know, maybe that's what separates me from the rest and keeps me, you know, different. And so rather than me try and chase the views, try and adapt to what YouTube is, maybe I should just embrace the fact that I'm different and stay the way I am and not try and change it up and chase those views or change up my style of content and just stick with what I am doing. But sticking with what I am doing, well, I have to just be okay with getting like only 10,000 views, while other people who are way less talented and making shit content, they get to rake in hundreds of thousands of views every day. Thank you, Joe EEGG1. I appreciate that, brother. All right. Son of Beast says social media steals your data. That's for sure. AI regurgitates it without admitting it, knows about you, using the knowledge to brainwash users. MK Ultra, avoid eyes close up in films like Get Out. These are triggers for the pre-programmed. You know, I'm sure we've all had that scenario where you talk about something and then you see an ad for it. Like if you say something out loud, like, oh, I'm thinking about going over to the coast for a few days, or you're thinking of going to Las Vegas, let's say. Yeah, I'm thinking of going to Las Vegas. And then you start seeing like ads for rooms in Vegas, right? Save here with Expedia on your trip to Las Vegas, right? It's like, you're totally spying on me, and now you're suggesting shit based on what I've talked about or websites that I've searched, right? So what I like to do is talk about stuff that I'm not going to do so that I can totally confuse the AI. I have the AI like gathering data on shit that I'm totally not even going to do at all. So check it out. If I want to confuse the AI, I'll be like, I'm thinking of taking a trip to Zimbabwe and maybe going on an elephant riding excursion. Right after I find a restaurant that serves ostrich kebabs. And then the next day, AI's like, top 10 restaurants in Zimbabwe for ostrich kebabs. And here's a 10% off coupon for an elephant riding expedition. And I'm like, ha 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 ha. AI, fuck you. I'm totally not going to Zimbabwe at all. I just made you look that shit up for no reason, bitch. Ha 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 ha. Fuck you. AI, got you looking up shit that I'm totally not going to do. I made AI waste its time looking up fucking ostrich restaurants in Zimbabwe. Guess what? I don't even feel like going to Zimbabwe. I don't even like ostrich kebabs. There you go. So that's how I get even with AI for stealing my data, is I think about shit that I'm not going to do, and then I talk about shit that I'm not going to do. You know, like how I can't wait to buy a whole truckload of chocolate-covered shiitake mushrooms. I love chocolate-covered shiitake mushrooms, and I'm going to buy so many of them with my credit card right after I finish the stream. That's my I'm making AI waste its time joke. Lint away air duct cleaning. Best damn air duct cleaning this side of the Mississippi. Said, thanks for the great comedy as always, Jake. Thank you very much. Lint away air duct cleaning. And I'm getting a message from Jonna. It says I've missed one from Son of Beasts, and One Ballers, Jonna, Shunter, RL. So I've missed a bunch, but I'm catching up on them right now, Jonna. I'm doing my best to catch up. I had like 20 super chats come in, and so I'm one by one catching up on all of them. I will get to all of them. I have all of them on my watch page under the fan funding. So ever since Holden told me that on fan funding, I can see all my super chats. Now I don't miss super chats. Son of Beast says, Jake is the real people's NPR support. That's right. I'm the real people's national people's radio. So support the National People's Radio, the real National People's Radio. Thank you, Son of Beast, for like your 10th super chat of the night. And One Baller says, I meant personally face-to-face to your teachers. No, bro, because trying to prove your teachers wrong would get you thrown out of class, basically. And I wasn't awake to conspiracies or anything. So back when I was in school, I was a bit of a class clown. And so what I would do is make little comments and jokes. So the teachers that didn't like me, they would just, they would make me go stand outside, whatever. They'd be like, go stand outside. And then they'd come out and they'd be like, if you're ready to stop talking, you can go back in now. Right. And if I really pissed them off, they would send me to the office. But basically, I never challenged a teacher on like any issue that I would today, you know. So back when they were talking about dinosaurs in school, I used to believe in dinosaurs. Or if they were talking about outer space, I used to believe in outer space. So I didn't have the wherewithal to challenge my teachers on anything like that back then. Now, if I had the mindset that I have now, and I was to go back and be in my body in school back then, but have the same knowledge that I have now, things would be different. But no, face to face, I never challenged my teachers. You know, I was just trying to get through the day. You know, I never liked being at school. In fact, I hated school pretty much. So I was always just waiting to get through the day. Wanted the bell to ring so it could all be over. Thank you very much. And One Ballers. Jonna, one of my lovely mods and longtime supporters, says, hi, Jake. Could you please make up a song about today's stream? Ship hits bridge in a Mexican accent. Make up a song about today's stream. Or about the stuff that I talked about in today's stream, huh? Bum 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 boon it boon it boon it boon it boon it boon it bum 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 bum. The Mexican naval ship hit the Brooklyn Bridge. Boon it boon it boon it. Didn't it make the mast go down? Boon it boon it boon. Then the people fall to the ground, and it is a tragedy because they die. Do 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 do. Boone, 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 rum, pum, pum, pum. Joe Biden has been diagnosed with cancer. And it make me oh so sad. You know he like to touch the children because he is a creepy Joe. I don't know. Trying to make up a song about what I talked about in a Mexican accent, even though I don't speak Spanish. More of a challenge than I thought. Jonna wants me to make up a song about what I'm streaming. Boone, boone, boone. Like when I talked about Creepy Joe. Or when the boat it hit the bridge. and it killed all those precious souls. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. That was stupid. I don't know if you're happy with that. I'm not. But I don't know if I can make up a song that's any better. But since that song kind of sucked, I'll go ahead and sing my Mexican national anthem, which should make things right. So I'll sing the Mexican national anthem to make up for the fact that my made up Mexican song wasn't that good. So here's the Mexican anthem. Rum pum 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 in Yenayone Yenayone en Yenayone Yenayo Yenayone en mañana Yenayone dígalo. There you go. It's the Mexican national anthem. All right. Next is Son of Beast. Said your channel is fake NFL, fake space, fake globe, fake world, the anti-news. This is your channel. Keep it going, please. You are the only one. It's about right. But see, that as a niche, it's like not really a niche that's popular. And since all those are different things, it's like my NFL audience isn't totally the same as my audience who likes to watch these streams. And then the people who show up to the streams each week aren't necessarily fans of the football content. So there's some crossover. There's some people who like the football content and who watch all the live streams and who watch the regular videos. But there's also people who like only watch my football content and then they don't care about any of the other stuff. And then there's people who don't like the football stuff at all. Like there's some women here who watch and they enjoy the live streams, but they don't give a crap about the NFL games being fake. So then it's like I have two audiences and I got to cater to both of them. But I got to do it with the one channel, because if I make two separate channels, then I'm splitting the audience. So if I make a Jake football channel, well, it'll do fine during football season, but then this channel would suffer if I separated the football shit. And then in the off season, then the football channel wouldn't have anything going on. See what I'm saying? So trying to separate my content into different channels might seem like a good idea, but then I've thought about it. I would end up splitting my audience up is what I would do. So I'm kind of stuck with a channel that has 2-3 different audiences that kind of come and go. So it's not the best, niche to have multiple different topics that you talk about. But I guess it's better than having a shitty channel that nobody watches. So it could be worse. I could have an irrelevant channel that nobody watches at all. So at least I have a channel that people care about, people enjoy, and people watch, So when I bitch about not being able to grow my channel any bigger or get the big view counts, it's just me bitching for the sake of bitching. All right. Shunter Thompson says, Jake, have you tried putting a goal out there verbally or written down? Like, I want X amount of subs or views. The universe is always listening. No, I haven't. I figured last NFL season that I was going to get to 100,000 subs, and I was on my way, except when I stopped making picks, my sub counts didn't really go up that much this last NFL season. So at the very beginning of the NFL season, when I very first did picks last year, I went up in like 2 weeks. I went up 5,000 subs. That's a lot to shoot up 5,000 subs in 2 weeks. So I went from 80,000 subs, or 75,000 subs to like 80,000 in like a week and a half. And then I had a bad week picking games, and I said, I'm not going to do NFL picks. Some people unsubbed for me just because I said I wasn't going to do picks anymore. And then I'm noticing that the views for the NFL rig content kind of loped off, and I didn't get as many subs this last season. So the channel didn't grow as much last NFL season because I didn't make the picks. And if I don't do NFL rigged content and I just make videos and do streams like I'm doing right now, they'll give me like 10, 20 subs one day, and then they'll take it the next. So tonight, I'll lose like 10 subs. And then tomorrow, I'll gain 5. And then the next day, I'll lose 5. And then the next day, I'll gain 9. And then the next day, I'll lose 9. So it's almost like they have this algorithm in place to not let me grow if I'm making regular conspiracy content. But I can override that limiter algorithm when I pump out NFL rigged content. Then it's like I get just enough people showing up to keep the sub count going up. And then if I do picks, oh, well, then it's like my fucking channel explodes. The problem with picks is if I have a bad week picking the games, then people talk shit. And they post comments where they're like, your picks suck. You suck. You must work for the sports books. And then that makes me feel like shit. So I'm stuck in this weird deal where it's like, oh, if I do picks, I'll get a fuckload of new subs and I'll make a lot of money on the ad revenue just for making the pick videos. But if I have a bad week making those picks, people are like, you suck. I hate you. I lost money on your picks. You must work for the sports books, you piece of shit. They'll post comments like that, which makes me feel bad, which makes me not want to make picks. So then when I say, guys, I don't want you to lose money, I'm not going to make picks. Oh, well, I'm not going to watch you anymore if you're not going to make picks. And then I lose subs and then lose views. So it's a pain in the ass sometimes just trying to find something that works and just sticking with it, you know? It's like, because football's seasonal. And then the picks, like, if I do good, oh, everyone loves it. But do bad, oh, people are pissed. So the thing about not making picks, then I don't have to worry about people getting angry at me and posting hate comments if I don't make the picks. But then I forfeit all of the ad revenue that I would make on those picks, which is substantial. So I lost a big chunk of money by not making those fucking pick videos. And I lost a good chunk of subs by not making those pick videos. But my happiness was on the line. Having bad weeks making picks makes me unhappy. So then it becomes like money versus happiness versus views versus happiness, you know. Thank you, Shunter. All right. Okay. Slowly but surely, I'm going to get to all these super chats. Next is RL, says, repost your Hawkins vid. Seriously, it's destined as a cult classic. It's shit your drawers funny, dude. Thanks for being Jake. What do you mean repost it? I already posted it. I did the live stream and then I turned it into a video. I'm not going to repost it again. Plus, YouTube doesn't like it if you repost your own content multiple times. It's called reused content. So yeah, there's the live stream where I did the entire Hawkins bit, and I did 6 or 7 different like celebrity interpretations, right, for Stephen Hawking. And so I turned that into a video. So yeah, just go watch the video on my channel. It's the video right after the Super Bowl breakdown. So it was like 3 months ago, 4 months ago. Son of Beast says, bass plus comedy plus impressions bonus on Jake's channel. Speaking of, maybe next week I'll get the bass hooked up and I'll play a little bit. That's something I haven't done in few months. It's probably been, I don't know, maybe 3-4 months since I've broke out the base. So I don't have it hooked up right now, and I'm going to be wrapping things up soon. So next stream, I'll try and have the bass set up, and I'll whip out some slap funk for you guys. How about that? It's been a while since I slapped the bass for you guys, and it's been a while since I got funky. It's been a while. Son of Beast says the AI knows all. Your tricks ain't fooling them. They act stupid. Don't even mess with them ever. It is the modern MK Ultra. Well, you got to think, bro, whether I like it or not, AI is going to data mine me no matter what. Like this program right here, StreamYard, that I'm using. They're going to make a representation of my face. And then, you know, one day they can, who knows, kill me off and then replace me with AI Jake. And you guys won't even know the difference. You'll have fucking AI Jake here getting donations from you guys, right? Doing my act. And you won't even be the wiser, right? And then maybe one day I'll glitch and you'll be like, hey, wait a minute. Jake got replaced by AI, right? So this program right here might be like making a graph of my face, getting all the dimensions of my face as we speak. So then they can kill me and replace me. You better hope they don't kill me and replace me. I better hope they don't do that too. Thank you, Son of Beast, for like your, I don't know, 12th super chat of the night. I appreciate that, brother. Son of Beast says, Golden Song. Golden Song. Speaking of songs, I could put on one of my songs for you. Once I catch up with the super chats, I'll put on one of my original tunes. How about that? Jacques Tollard says, came in late, sorry, but the sheep, she no trabajo no more. Yeah, that was hours ago that I said that. I don't know if you're watching the stream replay and you're like a couple hours behind, but yeah, that was a long time ago in the stream that I said that. So you're definitely going to want to catch back up, hit the live button, or click on the where it says live. You can catch back up. Sometimes I notice some of you guys will fall behind in the stream, and then all of your comments will be like an hour behind where we're at right now currently. Thank you, Jacques Tollard. Better late than never. Better late than never. Thank you for the super chat donation. RL says, what's your take on crypto, poop coin versus Bitcoin? Can you do an impression of Stevie Ray Vaughan? Stevie Ray Vaughan fantasizing about smooching Trump. An impression of Stevie Ray Vaughan fantasizing about smooching Trump. Interesting. I don't think anyone's ever asked me to do Stevie Ray Vaughan. My thoughts on crypto. I own some crypto. I'm up on Bitcoin. I've lost money on some of the altcoins, but I'm up on Bitcoin, so it's kind of a wash. So I'm up a smidge on my crypto right now, and I'm just sitting on mine. I'm one of those guys that I bought some back in like 2021, and then it went up, and then it went down, and then now it's going back up again. And so I never sold. I never took the loss when all my crypto was down. I never sold any. And so right now I'm back up again, but not by a lot. So I wasn't lucky enough to buy a bunch of Bitcoins when it was super cheap, you know. So I'm not like some Bitcoin millionaire right now, but I did buy some Bitcoin back when it was like 40, 50, and 60,000. So I don't have a whole one, but I do have a piece of a Bitcoin. So I don't have a negative opinion about about it too much because, I own some, and if it keeps going up, I'm going to make money on it. But I do think that the government's got their finger in it. And so I don't believe for a second that it's a currency that's free from government manipulation. So I believe it totally can be and is manipulated by the government. So that's bad. But as far as my thoughts on, or my opinion of it, being that I own a little bit and I'm up on my investment, well, I can't hate it too bad. If I hang on to what I got now and then it keeps going up and up and up, and then one day I can cash it in for a nice amount, well, then at least there's that. And as far as the impression of Stevie Ray Vaughan fantasizing about smooching Trump, I don't know what you mean by impression. I can sing maybe like Stevie Ray Vaughan. I haven't sang a Stevie Ray Vaughan song on any of my live streams before, so this will be totally new. But let's see. Stevie Ray Vaughan fantasizing about smooching Trump. Well, it's flooding down in Texas. All of the telephone lines are down. Well, it's flooding down in Texas. All of the telephone lines are down. 'Cause I've been trying to call my Trumpy baby, and Lord, I can't get a single sound. Lord, it's flooding down in Texas. Oh, I want to give Trump a big fat smooch on his face. Well, it's flooding down in Texas, and I want to give Trump a big fat smooch upon his face. Well, 'cause RL sent me a super chat, and he wanted me to do an impression of Stevie Ray Vaughan giving Trump a smooch. Bro, I don't have a fucking clue what I'm supposed to do with your suggestion. Every once in a while, you guys give me a weird suggestion where you want me to do a voice that I've never done, and you want me to do something that I've never done with a voice that I've never performed before. So, Stevie Ray Vaughan, what? Why? And why? He's dead, right? So Stevie Ray Vaughan has been dead for a long time. He's a blues guitarist. So why would you want him fantasizing about smooching Trump? It's weird. That's just a weird request. That's why I had a hard time coming up with anything for it. But whatever. Thank you anyway, I guess. Son of Beast says, good point, but it's important to keep getting NPC normie football fans into real fakery. It makes your channel suffer, but it's a wonder they even let you exist. So please keep doing it for us. I have no reason to stop doing the NFL stuff because it helps grow my channel. It makes me money, and it gets the most views out of any of the other content that I put out. So I'm still going to keep doing the NFL stuff. And it's seasonal to where when I get sick of it, then the NFL season wraps up and ends. And then I talk about other stuff. So right when I get sick of doing the NFL shit and I'm about done with it, then the playoffs start. And then the Super Bowl, and then it's done. So the good news is the NFL season doesn't take up the whole damn year. And it also does bring me new fans and subs. So some of the people who join the channel and become subscribers, they become full-time crossover fans, and they even watch these live streams, and they watch my other content. And so some of the football subscribers are good people. Some of them, however, only care about the football stuff. And then they make comments like, stick to football. And that pisses me off. So I don't like when people tell me stick to football. That's one of my least favorite things that people say. But I do like when people, subscribe to the channel because of the football, and then they become fans of the other forms of the content. And then they become regulars here in the live streams. So yes, there is some of them who start watching because of the football content, but then they become full-on hardcore fans who are here supporting, sending super chats. So I will definitely continue, not just for you, but for me as well. For you, for me, and for you, for me. All right. Son of Beast says, let's not let Jake get to the end of his super chats. Keep sending him money all night. Make him keep going. He deserves it for all his sacrifice. As much as I would appreciate that, I don't try and milk my audience for every penny. If you guys want to send money out of the kindness of your own heart, I totally do appreciate it. But I'm not the type of guy who's going to beg you to do it. I'm not going to say, hey guys, please send me your money and I need your money for X, Y, or Z, or I'm going through a hard time. So one thing you won't see me do is like Frank Tufano or Goatus and beg you for money for some reason. Like, hey guys, if I can get X amount of dollars, then I'll do this, you know, like, hey guys, my eyes are all messed up because I got eye surgery and it got botched. So can you feel sorry for me and give me money? No, so you won't ever see me do anything like that. You know, you won't ever see me scam my audience like Goatus. So here tonight, I've got a couple $100, what, $200-300 in super chat donations. And I didn't once tell you guys, please send me money because I'm going through a hard time, right? Never. I never do that shit. And you know what? I never will. I would have to have like some catastrophic emergency, which sucks like all my funds and then some, before I would ever be like, help me, you guys. I need your help, right? The last thing I would want to do is beg you guys for help. I already have an awesome audience who hooks me up with lots of super chats for doing impressions and just expressing myself and giving you guys my opinions and just being a funny guy. So I get to get paid for being a funny guy and expressing myself. I don't have to stoop as low as being a fucking e-beggar like Frankie Tufano, who we saw earlier, or Goatus, that wanted fugitive shitbag who scams his audience several times a year. Or Zach Hubbard. There's another scammer, Zach Hubbard. Or Owen Benjamin. Guys, Owen Benjamin scammed his audience for the land that he lives on. Owen Benjamin scammed his audience for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Meanwhile, I'm still giving it to you straight. Doing these streams to bring you the truth and entertainment and comedy. And you guys donate out of the kindness of your heart. It's a win-win for all of us. Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning says, Jake, have you ever invested in option contracts? I have not. I don't have a single penny invested in option contracts. Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning. Son of Beast says, Jake can't stop if we keep sending money. Can't stop addicted to the shindig. Chop, chop, it says I'm gonna win big. Choose not the life of limitation. Use 2 sticks to make it in the nature. Or something like that, right? A Red Hot Chili Pepper lyric. And One Baller says, can you do Patrick Mahomes' impression losing the Super Bowl? No, I can't. I've never done a Patrick Mahomes impression, bro. I don't like when people ask me to do impressions of people who I've never done an impression of, because then it puts me on the spot. And now I'm like, how does Mahomes act? There's like nothing about Mahomes' personality that's like super identifiable to where I can be like, oh yeah, here. You know, whereas like Richie from Boston, he's got this really distinct voice when he talks, or Alex Jones. Folks, I've got this super recognizable voice. Or Elmo. Everyone knows what Elmo sounds like. And you know that I do certain impressions better than anyone. So why in the flying fuck do you guys ask me to do impressions of people I've never done before who don't have any sort of personality or voice that's even that recognizable? What do you want me to do? Make a little frowny face and try and do Patrick Mahomes' voice, which I've never done before? And one ballers, bro, come up with something better. Seriously. I don't like attempting to do impressions that I just don't want to do and have never done. So yeah, that is a shitty fucking impression that you're asking for, and I don't want to do it. So come up with something better. I don't want to just keep your money. So I will do an impression, but I don't want to do Patrick Mahomes because I don't know how to do an impression of Patrick Mahomes because I've never done one. So pick something that you know I can actually pull off. This is like the time when someone was like, can you do Chinese, Richie from Boston? Meets an Indian Elon Musk while hanging out in Africa with a Chinese accent? And I'm like, nope, I can't. I can't do that. That's impossible. RL says, that was great. Just fucking with you. Nice work. Awesome. Glad you thought it was great. Thanks for fucking with me. Thanks for liking my work. Son of Beast says, I'm the type of guy who will say, send Jake your money. Son of Beast, I appreciate that. This is like, what, your 20th super chat of the night? I'm blown away by the support, you guys. I think I officially just caught up. I believe that was the last one. Let me make sure. It looks like I officially caught up, y'all. So, and one ballers. Come up with a funnier thing for me to do besides what you said. Patrick Mahomes. Holden says, and one ballers wants Ghostface from Scream prank calling Joe Biden. Ghostface from Scream.
Hello, creepy. Do you know who this is? Do you want to play a game, Creepy Joe? Who was the killer in Friday the 13th? Was it Jason? Wrong again, Joe. That means I'm gonna have to kill your wife. Who was the killer in Friday the 13th?
It was Jason. It has to be Jason.
Wrong again, Creepy Joe. It was Jason's mom. So that means your wife is gonna be kicking the bucket.
There you go. Ghostface calling Joe Biden and killing his wife.
Hi, Creepy. Do you want to play a game, Creepy?
What kind of game?
It's a game where you guess the killer from the movie.
I don't like this game.
RL says, nope, not yet. Nope, not yet, meaning I haven't finished reading my super chats. Well, now that I've finished reading that one, I officially have finished reading the super chats again. Woo! That was a hell of a lot of super chats to get through. Jen says, I don't know Ghostface, but seems funny to me. It's the killer from the movie Scream. Yeah, like last live stream I did or the stream before, someone suggested that I do that voice, which I had never done. So I just had to come up with it off the top of my head. And I was like, hello, Sydney. Do you want to play a game? Sure, I like games. Who was the killer in the Friday the 13th movie? It was Jason. Wrong. It was Jason's mom. Now I'm going to kill you, bitch. There you go. It's close enough, right? Close enough. I only saw the Scream 1. Actually, I saw Scream 1 and Scream 2. But I never saw any of the other Scream sequels. So I had to like remember what the bad guy sounded like. Close enough, right? Did I miss a super chat from Son of Beast? It says Patrick Mahomes' impression is just Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog I can do. Hey guys, Kermit the Frog here. Hanging out with Big Bird on Sesame Street. Near, far, near, far. Hey guys, Kermit the Frog here. You know what color Kermit the Frog is, you guys? Ah, I'm green. Green like Kermit the Frog. Ah. Hey guys, Kermit the Frog. Like the color green. Hey guys, Jaren here. Jaren kind of sounds like Kermit the Frog. Hey guys, you know who kind of sounds like Kermit? Jaren. Jaren kind of sounds like Kermit. You guys, I was wrong about the Earth being flat. The Earth can't possibly be fat. You guys, I kind of sound like Kermit the Frog. And you guys, I might possibly be wrong about the moon landing. If you believe that Katie Holmes, or if you believe Katy Perry going to space was fake, then you are retarded. Guys, if you don't believe in Blue Origin, you are retarded. If you think Katy Perry and Blue Origin was fake, guys, you are retarded. So guys, I figured out the moon landing actually is real. So I did the research, I looked into the evidence, and I came to the conclusion, you guys, the moon landing wasn't fake. If you believe that the moon landing was fake, you are retarded. Hey guys, Kermit the Frog here. Kermit the Frog and Jaren, you guys. Kermit the Frog and Jaren at the same time. Kermit the Frog here on Sesame Street. Hanging out with Elmo. Hey guys, I'm Jaren the Frog. And I'm hanging out with Elmo. Yeah, hanging out with Elmo, you guys. Jaren the Frog, you guys. All right. What? I like turned Jaren into Kermit the Frog on that one. You guys, I went to Antarctica with Will Duffy, and I saw the sun do a 360 over my head, so therefore the Earth cannot be flat. Ah! That's why, you guys, I'm Kermit the Frog, and I live on Sesame Street with Elmo, you guys. Wow, what a wonderful audience. And now it sounds like, now it turned into fucking the retarded comic kid from South Park. Jimmy. Wow, what a wonderful audience. You guys want to hear a joke about Rosie O'Donnell? Why did Rosie O'Donnell cross the road? Because she needed to get her fat ass to the other side. Wow, what a wonderful audience, you guys. There you go. There's Jimmy from South Park. RL says impression of the new Pope with a fresh altar boy. I don't know what to do with that, bro. I don't even know who the new Pope is. I've never done an impression of the Pope. and I don't know anything about the new Pope. I actually don't give a fuck about the Pope. So when the Pope died, I didn't make a video about it. I didn't talk about it. Just don't give a fuck. I know that there's a new Pope. I didn't make a video about it. Didn't talk about it because I don't give a fuck. I don't know how the Pope sounds or what the Pope does. RL, I'm going to have to ask you to ask me to do a different impression. I don't give a fuck about the Pope. I don't even want to try and do an impression of the Pope, who I don't give a fuck about. So RL, I'm going to ask you to ask me to do something different. Your super chat is important, but I'm not going to do an impression of something that I don't even know what to do. So come up with something better. Looks like I missed a super chat from Lintaway Air Duct Cleaning. Says, how well does the AC unit behind you work? Really good. Really good. In fact, if I set it to like anything colder than 74, it'll make my office too cold. So like I have it on 74, but it makes the office like 72. So it actually gets the office a few degrees cooler than what it says. So I have it on 74 and it keeps the office at about 72, which is just perfect. And if I put it on 72, then it starts being like 70, 69, 68. Then it gets almost too chilly. And being that the cold air comes out and it hits me right in the back of the neck, the spot that I'm sitting gets extra cool, extra fast. So if it does get hot in here and I turn on that AC, I get cooled down really fast. It works really, really good. Heat and AC works like a charm. Plus this room is small, so it don't take long. All right. We got another request from RL besides the new Pope impression. Hey everyone, Kermit the Frog here, winning the Super Bowl with the Chiefs. Yay! Of course, Kermit the Frog. I'm going to throw the ball to the wide receiver, you guys. And then, of course, he's going to catch the ball and he's going to run. Ah. Don't tell Miss Piggy that I play for the Chiefs. Miss Piggy, it's not her favorite team. Ah. Fuck. You guys are asking for weird shit. Kermit the Frog winning the Super Bowl. It's almost like I have to be like, hi, I'm Kermit the Frog. I just won the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm going to go to Disneyland. Kermit the Frog here. I'm going to go to Disneyland because I just won the Super Bowl. Now I'm going to turn into Jaron the Frog. You guys, I just won the Super Bowl. If you don't win the Super Bowl, you are retarded. Ah. All right, this is getting ridiculous. Cactus Jack says, can you sing your new Fuck the Pope song, please? I have a new Fuck the Pope song? Now you guys are just making shit up that I don't even do. And now I've got to do something that I've never done before. Yeah, sure, I'll sing my Fuck the Pope song. Well, fuck the new Pope because he is a dope. I didn't really like the old Pope either, but I don't like the new Pope even more. The new Pope is a piece of shit, and I fucking hope that he dies. Just like the fucking last stupid Pope. All the fucking popes are stupid whorebag bitches. Please, Pope, die like the last stupid guy. Stick a freaking needle in your eye and then fall out of the sky and die, stupid Pope. I hate you.
Yeah, yeah, this is the new song that I'm singing about the Pope who sucks. You want me to say fuck you to the Pope, so that's what I'm doing right now in song format. Yeah, singing a song for Cactus Jack. It's the best song I've ever created. Everybody loves this song right now because it's totally fucking cool. Because it's about the Pope who is a stupid bitch. And I hope that he fucking dies. I hate the Pope and I fucking hope he dies. I fucking hope he dies in his sleep tonight. I hope the Pope dies in his sleep. Because he is a stupid fucking stupid ass bitch. Yeah. There you go. That's my new Fuck the Pope song that I just came up with just now for you. RL says, sorry, I'm still laughing. Mr. Rogers, please. Mr. Rogers, please. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. There's a Mandela effect that says there's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. But no, that never happened. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. 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 We're gonna go out in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Putting on my shoes. Taking off my shoes in the neighborhood. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. That's all I can remember is beautiful day in the neighborhood. And then him taking his shoes off. Putting his shoes on. It's like the only thing I can remember. I have no recollection of anything else that Mr. Rogers ever did but sing about how beautiful it was in his neighborhood and then take his shoes on and off. There you go, RL. The best Mr. Rogers impression you or anyone ever heard. This stream is getting ridiculous. A lot of these impressions towards the end here. Not my best work, but to be fair, some of you guys are coming up with really shitty things for me to do impressions of. So it's partly your fault. You guys are coming up with less than fabulous ideas. So it's partly your fault that some of these impressions suck. So you guys are mostly to blame. All right. Okay, I think I've caught up with all the super chats, which is good. Let me make sure. Mr. Rogers, fuck the Pope. Sing your new Fuck the Pope song. All right, I think I caught up on all the super chats. Holy crap. With that said, you guys, I've been on here for nearly 4 hours, so that's long enough. And now that I've caught up with the super chats, I'm going to go ahead and get off here, eat some food, take my dog out for a walk. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. Hopefully you found some of it entertaining or funny. Hopefully you learned something. And if you didn't, oh well, I effectively wasted your time. So until next time, this is your favorite asshole signing out. Hit the like button on your way out. Make sure to share this stream on social media. Share it with a friend or a family member. Or keep me all to yourself, whichever you prefer. And
Thank you to everyone who donated. I got so many super chat donations tonight. It might have been like some sort of record number of super chat donations that we got tonight. So we did very well tonight with the amount of super chat love that I received. So thank you all, and anyone who whose message I didn't read, I'm going to go back and watch the replay and I'll see what everybody said. So I will read every single message that was posted here tonight. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for hanging with me. I love you all. You guys are the best audience in the world. RL coming in with one last super chat, says, "You're awesome, man. Enjoy the evening." Thank you, RL. I will. Thank you for the multiple super chats from you and everyone else who donated, and everybody and all of your families and all your mothers' mamas. I'll see you next time. Peace out. Much love. Good night.